week,
Nope.
since that was a particularly important moment, I guess, of where we left off. So, actually, I think did I preload it? Yeah, I did. All right, so there's a thing where, Justin, this will be useful for you too, where you can preload a scene, and then it basically starts downloading it for everybody before you actually switch to it. Yeah, you see how everybody switched? Okay, yeah, everybody was almost instant for this one, even though this is a huge map here. Ben, did you move it again? It's blown right down there again.
I'm just trying to adjust it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Is that why I seen like the watch house thing, but it didn't move us over or anything earlier?
Is that why what, Fox?
Is that why I seen like the watch house thing and then it just disappeared again because it like showed up?
Fox is very quiet.
Turn her up on your side. She's maxed out on my side.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't set the microphone settings properly since reformatting, so I didn't know if I'd have to reformat again. I'm kind of terrified of updating.
Well, I have you turned up all the way on my side, and I can hear you okay. So, so you saw the watch house thing, and then what, Fox?
I saw the watch house thing, and I thought we were gonna move maps, but we didn't. It just like disappeared because it disappeared for a second, and then disappeared beside the other one. Yeah,
okay.
It flickered.
Yep, that was probably when I clicked on it to preload. Basically, it's just a setting that you can click on, and it'll automatically start downloading it for everybody in the background. And then when you move to it, it'll be instant for everybody. That is not the track that I meant to play.
I can't figure out what my prepared spells are going to be.
You haven't changed them. You can't change them yet, unless you're going to go sleep and not, be.
All right. I'll wait. I'll switch them back.
I mean, if you don't use any of them, it wouldn't matter in the meantime.
All right.
So where we left off, everybody is in the bunkhouse. Let's see. Yeah, you guys. That's about what you guys can see. So for all of you that are, at least the ones that are in the cells here, the wall to the right, but basically to the right of Drost and Yorick, that is a solid wall. That the map maker that I use doesn't have portcullis walls, doesn't have like barred walls. But the ones between you all are just bars, like cell doors. And there are two guards that are in the room with you. So what are you guys doing?
Okay, you seen the comment of Maru keeping an eye on the guards, right, and then letting me and Lester know?
Yep, I would tell you too, though, that she's still a visible bat. She can't turn herself invisible or anything.
Yes, I know.
He. So he is, he's small, but he's going to be visible, and bats make a lot of noise, and the ceilings in here are if you know what a bat sounds like, it's pretty distinct. Justin.
That was not me furious and masturbating. That was not me. Did we just say the same thing at the same time?
We literally said the same thing. Anyway, the bat wings, though, these ceilings are only 8.5 feet, 9 feet, so not super high. It's going to be.
He'd be outside following Claudius and stuff to see what's going on.
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. I thought you meant here inside the bunker.
No, we could see what's inside. Why would we need intelligence inside?
Well, you can't see. You guys, just from where you guys are, you can't see off to the right, which is where the rest of them are sleeping. But Ryloth did send a message to Westra, I think, or was it Drost? No, to Drost, saying that there are 8 guards in there that are appearing to be asleep. One of them standing up.
Out of curiosity, the door that I'm standing by, was this open? Was it, I think one of the.
It was already. It's actually almost. It seems like every time you've seen it, it's always been open.
Okay.
So, and you are invisible, so you're
able to
stand in front of it.
Oh, I'm invisible. I did not remember that. Cool.
Yeah, you use your ring of invisibility. So.
All right. So, what time is it during the day?
It was just after midnight.
Okay. I think Ryloth is going to hang back a little bit for a few minutes. Just to, if it's only midnight, he'll hang back for a minute, and then after maybe 10 minutes, he'll see what happens, and after 10 minutes, he'll go find a place to crash for the evening.
Okay. Then for Azra, at least, Maru flying around, keeping that well. Callias, Maru follows him for a while. He leaves to a house that's not far from here, just a block and a half away, and he goes into the house, and that's the last he sees him. Okay. But there are still other guards. You see other city watch that are 1s and 2s patrolling the streets. Mm-hmm. What are you guys doing?
Weston's just gonna go sit on the bed.
Okay. What'd you?
Same thing for me too, because I'm assuming that they're looking at me right now. But throughout the night, whenever I'm not being watched, Drost is going to look around the cell to see if there's any, way to any weakness on the bars, ceiling, anything like that. Just inspect as closely as I can, see if there's any way to try to fuck around and get out.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
I'll tell you too. Like this is you guys can easily see the guards that are there in the room with you are in the in the room, not inside the cell, but inside the room with you guys. Both of them seems like they might be struggling to keep themselves awake, and like occasionally they'll chin will start to fall down towards their chairs are leaned up against the walls, kind of lean back, and the chin will kind of go down towards the chest, and then they'll shake their head a little bit and kind of sit up and look back around a little bit, clearly bored.
Okay. I still can't bring up my character sheet, if you wouldn't mind. And then if we remember, I'll update Chrome after we're done, so that way hopefully it shouldn't do this next week.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can still look at your stuff in D&D Beyond, though, if you want to just open another tab.
You can just manually roll dice that way too.
You can consult it.
Yeah, but investigation. There we go. 19. The bars don't look particularly sturdy, but they're just old. So it doesn't. You don't see any any standout weak points or anything like that. They go floor to ceiling. They go all the way through, and they're probably anchored in some kind of concrete because they don't give as much as they would if they were just in the wood, like in the wood floor. So there's probably concrete above and below, it seems. But as far as the bars, they seem pretty sturdy. The door, the lock, on all four, as far as you can tell, but certainly on yours, is pretty weak. Like you feel like you could probably just jimmy it open if you needed to, without even needing lock picking tools. But obviously that would make some noise, and there are certainly people within earshot.
Okay. Then I'm going to just chill. Yeah. Oh, good question.
Well, Fox?
Are there any windows?
Not that you can see. No.
Okay.
So
you guys doing anything else, or just killing time?
Probably partially killing time.
I'm gonna also before I leave, I'm gonna send another message. I'll send it to Azra, and just gonna be like, if you get out, how about I meet you at the outside of the city? I'm sure if you guys escape, I'll hear about it. So if you get out, I'll meet you at the outskirts, near the front gates, if you can.
You gonna reply?
Over.
you can reply to it's a message, so you can reply to it.
Oh, cool.
Fox?
Actually, our best bet would probably what does he consider the front gates? Is what I would like to know. There's 3 gates on the far side, and then there's the port. Our best bet would either be the port and take a boat, or go up, yeah.
The top would be north, essentially. So there's 4.
Would there be an obvious what would be considered the main gates of the city? Or not?
Not really. I mean, it'd probably be the ones to the northwest.
Northwest. I'm sure the gates outside the northwest of the city.
I put the map in Discord, Justin, so you can scroll up and see that if you need to.
Hard go to.
All right. Well,
probably be.
It is the furthest away, though.
I'll cast message again. Okay. What's the best place to meet you if you guys escape?
You guys came in through the east, to the northeast on the map. That's the way you came in. That's where your horses are at, and the stable's outside it. So if you look on the map there, everybody see it? Have that map?
Is it in Discord?
Yeah, it's in Discord. Scroll up a little bit. You'll see the town map. You'll see the magistrate in the northeast, and then you'll see a little gate there. And outside of that, that's where the stables are that you guys left your horses. In fact, that watch that you that little watch house, or not watch house, the way God damn it. Way station? Yeah, the way station that you guys met Ryloth at is out that way. Okay. Out to the northeast.
And where are we?
Where it says watch house at about the center.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go northeast.
That's the closest to you guys as far as potentially having fewest eyes on you if you were to go that way.
That is actually true. But it's also right near the magistrate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna send another message and be like, Magistrate, let's just get the fuck out. Northeast. We got horses there. Unless you have an obviously better idea.
I'm gonna have to bring Thorn back up. Because it just
Okay.
froze.
Yeah, so I don't see you in the game at the moment, so okay.
I'm gonna cast a message to Drost and be like, "Hey, if you guys manage to escape, should we meet at the northeast gate with all our horses that are already there?" Over.
Yeah, probably sounds like our best bet. See if I can find a way to get us out of here. Over.
And then I message Azra. Yeah, we're gonna go to the northeast gate. Drost decided, so Drost made that decision.
I'm guessing I'm getting a dirty look from the next elf right now.
No, just like a weary look of right. Let's go through like one of the more dangerous gates. Like I get why, because the horses are there, but still.
If anyone can transform into like a T-Rex, that would be a pretty cool option too. I don't know if
Well,
anyone can
Fox
do that.
She's a shapeshifter.
No.
Dinosaur
I
not on the
can
list?
only yes, I'm a shifter, but I can only change into a fox or a bat.
Yeah,
Okay.
I change
it's
into
one of
the
the
breed I am.
yeah.
I'm not a druid here.
Aw,
So
this one isn't a druid. This is her race is one of the ones from I think it's Eberron, one of the other books. Very much more
Okay.
limited shifting.
I'm gonna message Drost.
Trust.
Drost, sorry. Tell you what, I'll hang around outside for a bit longer, and then I'll go find the closest place to sleep for the evening. And if you guys make it till the morning, I'll try to save you if there's an opportunity. But I mean, maybe they'll figure out you're not guilty of murder. So there's always that possibility. Over.
All right, I'll tell him just to try to sleep light because when we come through them, we're going to be in a hurry. We don't want to have to wake your old ass up because I know it took you like 10 minutes to get up with your bad knees. So
Yeah, that's not wrong. So I'll hang out a little bit longer.
Okay. Seeing all three of you, well, at least Azra and Drost, occasionally, kind of zoning out for a second. Yorick gets up off of his bed, standing up in the corner there, kind of carefully trying not to make much noise. You see him looking at the two guards who don't appear to have moved for a minute or so. When he stands up and then trying to be quiet, you get the impression he's trying to not wake them, or at least disturb them. He kind of puts his hands on his bars there and whispers over to Westra. So you guys have a plan? What are we doing here?
Well, my plan is to sit here and figure out what's going to happen in the morning.
What's going to happen in the morning is we're all going to be at the end of a rope.
Well,
I know you don't want to be. I certainly don't
two
want to
of
be.
us.
Why don't we work on making our way out of here?
Well, two of us might be at the end of a rope, but if all goes well, the rest of them will get out.
I won't be amongst them.
Sure you will. You and
He
me are here
means-
for what's-
Yeah, he means that he won't be amongst the ones that make it out. But yeah,
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I'm well aware of that.
look,
I probably won't be either.
I've got plenty of motivation and plenty of coin to get out of this place. So how much is it going to take for you to help me?
You don't have enough.
He turns. Oops, I have the doors open because they don't have a proper cell door that doesn't, so if I close that, then the vision would be broken. So I just left the doors open. Anyway, he looks over to Drost and to Azra and shout whispering, "How about you two? How much?" If you can convince your friend that we can all go. Is it just crashing, Becky? What's happening?
No, it completely cut out for like 10 or 15 seconds.
Ben, did it cut out for you too?
We talking about Discord? Or are we talking about?
Yeah, if that was audio, it would have been Discord, not Foundry.
Foundry's working great for me, by the way. If anyone's curious.
I haven't heard.
Easy breezy.
Okay, yeah. Well, so Becky, what you just said was really choppy. So it sounds like it's your guys' internet. Because if Discord's getting choppy and if it's cutting out, and it's both of you, then it would be your guys' internet. I don't know how much of that they even heard.
Is it better now?
I mean, I heard you, but it was still a little bit choppy. Try again.
Better?
Now it's clear. Did you say that you already reset the router, Becky?
Yeah, before we even started.
Hmm.
And
Well,
it's kicking
I mean,
me out of Foundry.
it's kicking you out of Foundry? Okay.
Yeah, it said it lost the server connection, but now it's reconnecting.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll just, as long as you guys can hear okay, then we'll just, we'll keep going, and then, we'll wait for things to catch up. Ben's using the computer now too. Ben, I don't know if Ben can even hear me, but he is using, actually, he said he was using his headphones, so he's definitely using the computer for Discord, because that'll sap the network a little bit too. It's better for him, because he's able to communicate, but it does take a little bit more of your bandwidth. What was that, Becky? All right, let's take 5 minutes, see if the network clears up.
Okay.
All right. So, when's your 3D printer get shipped?
Let me see. I ordered it like.
By the
late
way,
last night.
hilarious that one comes with the magnetic plate, because that alone is like $20. So you just made your money back around there.
Well, it's more than that even. It comes with that. It comes with an upgraded power supply that is like a much more stable power, so the heat stays the same. Heat stays more stable. It is
that's a hell of a deal.
The extruder arm is supposed to be better, but it's still plastic. So a bunch of okay. Well, as long as you can still hear, at least for the moment, G, we'll just give it a couple minutes here, and hopefully it'll clear up for you guys. Ben just texted in Discord there.
Cool.
I'm hearing Becky now.
I can hear you guys just fine.
Hello.
Okay. All right. So it looks like it cleared up then. It comes with a bunch of stuff, Justin, and all of that stuff. Just the power supply alone was $30. That magnetic pad I didn't even look at, but I knew it would be $20 at least. Yeah. And a bunch of
I
the
know
other parts
because
as
that plastic one that comes on the basic model, literally after a while, the plastic, like obviously because it's projected heat all the time, as you're like you have to use this fucking scraper to like dig under the prints, and eventually it just rips little tiny chunks of that plastic off, which messes up the bottom part. And that shit only lasted not very long at all, and it was a pain in the ass. The magnetic one, you don't have to use a little clip on the edges unless it's like a really big print. And you just peel it right off. Since it's foldable, it's adjustable, you just kind of unfold a little bit and the thing just peels right off. You don't have to use tools. You don't have to it's so much. The fact that I went like 7 months without it, that frustrates me.
I'm also, because I know this would annoy me, I'm also going to get an auto bed leveler so that it does, little.
How does that even work?
So it attaches
because
to
that's the most
it is. Yeah,
that's the most
what I don't want to do.
Thing. But remember, you can't it's not just the leveling, it's the fact that it has to be level at the perfect height.
Yeah, but the auto bed leveler literally does all of it. It levels the whole thing right before it starts to print every single time.
How does that work? Because I know mine actually has literally a mechanical little for each corner. It has a little mechanical like knob that you just adjust in small increments to get the leveling right. Does it have like a servo?
I imagine it must. There'd have to be little motors at each corner, I guess.
Oh fuck! And was that separate, or does that come?
It's a kit. No, it's a kit. Yeah, it's a little kit
that makes more sense.
Yeah. But it has a little like laser sight thing. It looks cool.
Just so you know, this is one of the harder things I've built. Like, it's a little more complicated than it leads on when you build it.
I watched the whole thing of putting it together. It didn't look that complicated at all.
You'll see. It's a cool system, but it is not. There's a few things on that I definitely would have changed after putting one.
Oh, as far as design, yeah.
I'm sure it's a little frustrating, but it's not too bad. Definitely took me a lot longer than I anticipated when I bought it, though.
Well, I've watched a shit ton of YouTube videos on like maintenance and replacing parts and all that kind of stuff, which is part of why I'm buying all the extra little things to tinker with it, because the mechanics of it are like about half. Like of the total interest of the whole thing, it's mostly tinkering with the machine that I'm like super interested in. So anyway, all right, Becky, say something.
Can you hear me?
Yep. All right, you sound clear. Ben, say something. Ben?
Benji! Where are you, Benji?
Did he mute his head? Because the headset has its own mute, so did he mute that? Because he's not muted in Discord, at least. Okay. Oh, does he have to... Well, if he's using the desktop, hopefully that's not too bad. You're lighting up. Say something. Is the headphone on the top of the headset, G? Say something again. I think I can hear you breathing. Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah, you sound fine. At least there, anyway. That sounded fine. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Okay. So, Yorick, though, shout whispering over to the two of you. Look, you know I've got the coin to make this good up for you. So, what can we do? We got to get out of here. She can come too, even if she's not willing to help me on her own. I'm sure the two of you can convince her. Let's go.
Yeah, well, if we can at least get out of here, then even if she doesn't want to help you, you can still go your own way. But I know I need to get the hell out of here because I don't really want to die tomorrow.
I don't think any of us do. It seems reasonable to me that we ought to work together. There's only the two of them. If we can get out of these cells long enough to run past them, I mean, going out through the street there is probably not a great idea either, but I don't know. I'm sure there's more of them back there, and he gestures towards the, through the wall to where the barracks area is.
Alright, well, take a look at your lock. Mine doesn't seem too sturdy on this cell, so we might be able to use our quick hands to get out.
I know I can get through that lock. I just don't want to go running through a gauntlet of all these guards with their pikes.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't be able to fight them off, that's for sure, so we're going to have to do the quiet route. Is there any other way besides through the barracks?
Over there, he looks at the point, gestures over to the front door. Give me a stealth check, G.
Okay. Actually, you're gonna have to. Yeah.
Oh, duh.
Thanks, dude.
And it's yours. Oh, well, actually, let me roll it on your sheet here. I'm just gonna pop your sheet out, and then I can roll it easier in the meantime. There we go. Oh, I didn't let it load. Oh, sorry, Fox. There we go. All right. 17. All right. He looks over at Westroy. If they're going to go, you're coming too, right? I mean, you're not so honorable. You're going to stay here and get yourself killed.
Yeah. Do I have any paper?
Probably, yeah. I would say that you do. You at very least have the back of the handbills from a handful of recent posters, wanted posters.
All right, so I'm just going to write out a quick note to the captain. I can never remember his name.
Callias?
Yeah, Callias.
Blah, 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 blah.
And okay, what are you writing on it? And I guess he's not here. You know he's not here, right?
Yes, I do. I am just writing, in case we get out of here. I am writing, sorry, but I don't feel like dying at the end of a rope. I didn't murder anybody. Yes, I shit. And then I'm putting it on the bed.
Okay.
That's fucking smart, by the way. What a smart thing that my team would never fucking do.
I would. The rest of the team would.
I was about to say, my team, if this happened at all, going into what this is, zero chance they could ever return to this town. Not a chance.
Yeah, it would have
they
to be
would
murder.
Burn it down.
Yeah. I try to be careful about it because if I just say up front every time, well, here's our best idea, guys. Then it's just, I'm just kind of railroading everybody. So instead, I just let them make bad decisions because it's fun that way too.
It really is.
I don't want to always say here's what we should do, and it's not as fun for everybody. So, all right. After you jot this down, are you just leaving it flat on the top of the bed? Or are you trying to hide it, under a pillow or anything? What are you doing to this?
I'm holding on to it, and then if we end up getting out of here, I'm just gonna set it right on top of the bed, so it's easy to see.
Okay. All right. While you're jotting this down, as soon as you kind of lean over to go set this on the, under the, like, hide it temporarily anyways, from outside, off to the west, and Ryloth, you hear this from the outside of the building, like coming around from the street on the other side. You hear a woman shouting, City Watch, City Watch, come quickly, please. A mob of the Red Eyes, they're smashing up the Rook and Kestrel. And then a couple seconds later, you hear, someone running up, from the other side, like running through the cobblestone streets there. And then there's pounding on the door of the office, like in the cell chamber where you guys are. The sergeant, the one who is sitting right next to Westra, you see him, his eyes kind of blink open tiredly, he kind of stumbles up, makes his way over to the door, opens the door, and through that, just this kind of dim flickering light from outside here, I'll actually right-click there. There's a young woman dressed in like barmaid's attire, but her hair is wet and matted to her skin, and there's this thin trail of blood going down the left side of her face. He kind of backs away slightly, gets out of the way a little bit, and she says, "It's okay. You're safe here. The Rook and Kestrel, you said? How many?" And she says, "Dozens, 30 maybe. They're carrying pitchforks and torches. They're going to burn the place down if you don't hurry." And the sergeant snaps to attention. He turns over his shoulder towards the barracks behind you, and then he shouts just this kind of bellowing shout that echoes down this hole, because it's just this like long hall. And he says, "Men of the watch, all hands, gear up. We leave in 30." And the shout is met with this cacophony of like noise of metal plates scraping and boots hitting the floor and all that kind of stuff, and these annoying grunts of sleeping guards. And the sergeant points to the other guard, the one that's over there across from Azra, the one that's directly next to the cell there. He says, "You stay here, keep an eye on them. No shut-eye till I'm back." And then he runs between the cells out the back. You just hear a foot, stomp, 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 as he's making his way out there. Ryloth, if you are not, you're not directly in front of the door.
No, if I heard this, I would just go around a little bit.
He makes his way out, and then, over the span of the next 30 seconds or so, the rest of the guards that were in there make their way out around him, and they all just start gathering around outside.
Okay. So based off where this is, do I know where the other door is?
Yeah, I mean, you were standing outside when you were out there talking to Goliath before, you were standing on the front porch on the other side of the building.
All right. It's just since I can't see it on the map.
You can make your way over there. Yeah, I mean, you know where it is. Basically, think of it like a longhouse that is both ends of it touch streets on either side. There's a street to the west, a street to the east. You can use the arrow keys for movement too. It's really easy that way. The woman who you see, actually, you're still invisible.
Okay,
so
that's what it is. I get it.
Her down the front porch, and then running back off, and then down the street to a direction you hadn't gone that way before, but it apparently is probably the direction of the bar that she's referring to, called the Rook and Kestrel.
Oh, okay, so that's probably where the guards are going to be going. I'm going to go see if I can peek into the door. Do I hear anything while I'm going up to this little area, like before I?
You're stirring in there for sure. Yeah, I mean, you can hear stirring of somebody moving at least one.
Okay, I'm gonna wait till see if that calms down a bit.
Okay.
Hey, I didn't fuck with my spells.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you. Like, I mean, you can change it if you want, but it would just mean you wouldn't be able to use your spells in the meantime.
Sure.
So, after this disturbance, what are Westra, Drost, and Azra doing? You're like eyes wide, just like staring at you guys, like this is clearly our opportunity.
Did both guards leave, or just one? Because I still see one on my map, but I kind of lag there too.
Yeah, okay. So the sergeant told this one to stay here and keep an eye on you, and he is now like fully awake, standing up near the chair.
I'm just gonna look at Westra and shrug.
Westra, give me. Yeah, Westra is the only one that's kind of looking in his direction, unless you guys are choosing to look at him. Give me an insight check on Westra. Insight or perception, whichever one you prefer. They're both wisdom-based, but I don't know if you're proficient in one or the other.
Nope, neither one.
Either?
So we'll just go.
All right, never mind. Whole lot of nothing there. He stands up, kind of makes his way over there, just standing in the middle of the room. The door is open behind him, by the way. Ryloth, you heard the metal clanking kind of move around a little bit more. You heard footfalls in the middle of the room, and the shadows inside the room are moving around a little bit. And then the noise stops.
All right, I'm gonna try to quietly and slowly get up next to the door. This door is open or closed?
It's open.
All right, so I'm gonna quietly move up here, and then I'm guessing this is what I see. I see a guard in there
You see
still.
the back of a guard, yeah, standing in the middle of the room through the doorway there.
Okay.
You are still invisible, so
Yes.
as long as you're, give me a stealth check actually,
Yeah. Go ahead.
with advantage.
Doop-a-dee-doop-boo.
I'm gonna grab the bars and start shaking them.
Okay.
Just making a stupid fucking noise. Start shaking. I can like break the bars as strong as I can, playing as hard as I can, but just being a jackass.
Okay.
So I got a 20.
Yep. All right.
When I'm going to look at yours, I'm doing that, and make he sees that I'm perfectly acting like a jackass.
Okay.
So
the guard who picked up his pike that was leaned against the wall behind him, he picked it up and he's holding that. He's kind of pointing it out in your direction with one hand. He says, "You just calm that down over there. We'll be fine. Everything will be all right. We just need to relax. Everybody needs to relax. We're going to be fine. Just knock that down."
well, I'm scared that the captain's going to die out there, man. Come on, let me out. Let me out.
Scared? Don't be. This captain's the strongest of all of us. He ain't going to die out there. You're just making a scene.
He might need our help. Come on.
He doesn't need anything from you. Give me a perception check, Drost. And actually, Ryloth, well, I guess if you're all looking at him, the rest of you can go ahead and make one now, not Wester, because she already made hers badly.
Yes. Inside
Oh, I guess I'll
perception.
roll it for you, G. Perception.
Thank you.
Meh. 14.
17 for Drost. Okay. Drost, you get the impression that he might be a little bit scared. He's left here by himself with the four of you, and the rest of them. He knows that the rest of them are gone, and maybe not within audible range. He seems a little bit nervous.
Okay, I'm gonna say, dude, come on. At least open the door. I mean, if the guards don't get it and they come in to attack you don't want to be the only one fighting them off. Come on, man. I'll help you.
He kind of squints a little bit when you say that. He says, "All right, just hold tight." And he comes over here, right in Ryloth's face. Close the door.
No.
We'll be fine. They can't get in. Hang on. And he goes running back the other way. You guys, out of sight. You hear a door close in the back. And then he turns around and comes back. But Ryloth rolled high enough with his stealth that he didn't hear footprints, and he's still invisible, so he didn't see him at all. Just slammed the door right in Ryloth's face.
Just smelled some old man breath. Like, what is that?
We're gonna be fine. Just everybody relax. We're gonna be okay.
Let's
What are you guys
see
doing?
here.
All right, so he's out of sight now.
No, he came back.
I'm gonna.
He walked-
Oh, okay. I lagged there.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna use
Okay.
message, and I'm gonna whisper into my hand. I only saw one guard in there. Do you guys think you can take care of him, or do you guys need me to try to do something?
Yeah, who are you talking to?
Oh, I'm gonna be talking to Ezra. No, I'm gonna talk to Drost.
Drost. Jesus. You know what's funny is that in the middle of the game Thursday, you called him Rayloth as well.
Oh, is it
Oh, yeah,
Ryla?
okay.
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah, you did. On a couple of times, you called your own guy's name the wrong name, and I've been trying.
Ryloth.
Yeah.
I was real tired last game. I also forgot the word spider, so
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
As long as if only everyone would forget about spiders, right?
Uh-huh.
Then if anything, it would just be an alien, though, Fox. It'd be much worse for you.
yeah. If you didn't know what a spider was, then you
saw
saw
it.
one, you're like, ah!
Oh my gosh. Even though I know what they are, I still get freaked out, okay? So
Oh, Fox, did I show you guys that? I showed you guys that video last time, right? Fox with that big old spider.
I didn't watch it because I seen like boss, and then I was like, nope, not clicking on that. The concept seems interesting for like the boss fight, but I'm not watching that.
All right.
I'll just wait until he posts his link with a different boss.
Well, next time you guys got to go to some area, we'll take you guys to the Underdark where there's giant, like, megalithic spiders you guys will have to fight.
Please no.
Yeah, you guys will have spider mounts that you'll have to use.
Nice.
All right, what are you guys doing?
I'll respond and say, if he gets near these gates, I'll try to get a hold of him, or maybe I can get him pissed off enough to come over this way. So just be ready. Responding to Ryloth.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll cast back. Sounds good. You want me to make a ruckus or anything outside, or anything weird?
Unless you can get your hand on the keys, then one of us needs to be able to get a hand on him. So, talk to Westra and get him in front of her cage or mine, whatever.
Can I do that? Okay.
I'm gonna try and mouth to Westra. Why make things worse? Shrug. Taking off might make things worse. And then go back onto the bed.
Okay. He's kind of set the pike down. He's leaning against it. He's still clearly very tired. Butt end of the pike against the ground and just leaning on it a little bit. Becky? I haven't heard Becky in a while. Oh. No.
She's lighting up, but I can't hear anything.
I can't hear her either.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, there we go.
Yay.
I hadn't heard you for a while, so if you were like reacting or doing anything, we hadn't heard it for a bit.
I am gonna check to see if this door is locked. The one that was just closed by me.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand. I'd say with disadvantage now, though, because he is real close to it and is aware of, that. Go ahead, Becky. Were you saying something?
Oh no, you guys were just breaking up really bad, so I only caught like bits and pieces.
Okay.
I mouthed to Restra, why make things worse? Like with Josh trying to
There you are.
juggle the bars and then just like shrug.
Josh kind of
Darn.
does what he wants.
Josh kind of does what he wants, is that what you said? I deleted the animated fires to see if that helps a little bit, but I don't think that the issue you guys are having is network based. It's not, performance from this side. I don't think. So,
It helped me because it's not like flickering anymore because it kept like flickering the map a bit.
you get the little black squares each time.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
getting each time.
So-
Every time they flickered, it was kind of annoying. So when
Yeah.
it turned off, I'm like, ooh, yay, I'm
Oh,
actually
no.
getting drawn to this.
So you told me about it last week, and apparently, so I googled it specifically, and it's actually something specific in Firefox that the current version of there's a bug. The current version of Firefox, there's a bug that WebEms, which is the file format that this uses, every time they finish the loop, there's a frame of black before it starts the loop again. It's not a smooth transition. Yeah.
Okay.
So every animated WebM does that in Firefox. It doesn't do it in Edge if you wanted to try Edge or anything else, but that's eventually they'll have it fixed. That's just what it is right now.
Yeah, I'll just wait for the fix. It's all good.
Sure. So, anyways, so Azra said that to you, or to Westra. Oh, I guess never mind. You already said Dross just does what he wants. That door then for Ryloth is not locked. He just closed it.
Okay.
You very carefully, turn it. You just turn the knob slightly to see if you could do it without making any noise. Of course, it doesn't appear to have made any noise that you can tell, or at least you don't hear noise on the other side of the door.
Okay.
There's no windows at all, even in like the barracks part of it.
Well, you guys haven't. Oh, never mind. You slept in the barracks. So yeah, there's 2 windows in the barracks. There's one on each side.
Okay, so Mara would probably come back in.
They're closed. They're not open windows, especially with the rain from the previous night.
Okay, poor bat stuck outside.
There's not like a chimney to swim in or to fly in or anything either.
Yeah, so he'd be stuck outside, just like probably in the entrance with the rail off.
Okay.
So I'm gonna drop my invisibility,
Okay.
and I'm gonna bang on the. Actually, I'm going to just kind of let's see. Well, I should have something I can use. I'm gonna put a little cut on my forehead, just so there's a little bit of blood right there, and I'm gonna kind of mess up my face with some of like a little bit of the dirt and stuff to make it look like I've maybe gotten beat up, and I'm
Okay.
going to
Do you
outside.
have like anything for the blood, or are you going to cut yourself?
I'm just gonna cut myself. No, I don't have
Okay.
anything that I
Alright.
can do besides that.
1 point of slashing damage.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
applied it to you.
Okay. And then I'm going to kind of bang on the door. Help! Help me, please! Excuse me! and then I'm gonna check. I'm gonna use the knob and kind of like stumble in. And be like, oh, there's people. There's a bunch of people fighting down the street. I got knocked over and hit my head. And I'm just gonna start stumbling like past like into the middle of the room, and then I'm going to see if I can start walking, just almost shambling incoherently, like past the cells towards the barrack area. Where is everyone else? Where is everyone?
The guard in there. As soon as you open the door and start all of this, you see a small kind of light gray flash in the corner of your eye as the bat flies past you. The guard.
There's got to be more people right now. Do you know what's happening?
Oh man. So just what are you talking about?
Do you have some water? I need some water. I'm so old.
We don't have any water here, sir. What do you?
There's people. They're rioting.
We're aware. We're taking care of it.
Look at my head. Look what they did to me.
Just go home. Get safe. Are you staying right there in the middle of the cells?
Yeah, I'm pretending to be confused. I'm kind of trying to like act confused.
You're doing fine at that. We've gathered here.
I'm just gonna kind of walk up here, and does anything happen as the guards
he's
like
following you?
The cells?
He's following you.
Okay.
I'm going to, while he's standing there with the side before he moves, I'm going to take one of my daggers and put it at his side with a little bit of force to where the tip's starting to stick in a little bit.
Do they still have their weapons?
This
is a terrible police department.
Yeah, I know, huh?
You're doing what, G?
I'm going to take one of my daggers out and stick it at his side. I'm not going to stab him, but I'm going to stick it at his side to where he can definitely feel the point and say.
And I'm immediately also, if I see that, I'm going to cast Charm Person on him as well.
Okay.
See how it works.
Okay.
Well, then both of you roll initiative for me.
Okay.
Not necessarily for combat purposes, just to see which one goes off first, because one of those is a hostile action, and that would have an impact on whether charm would work or not.
Yes.
All right.
I guess I can roll for that. I keep forgetting.
Thank you.
Definitely should remember this.
Oh, right, sorry. I think I have to. Yeah, I have to put you guys in the combat tracker. I think there's got to be a way to roll it, straight from a character sheet. But
I think if you click on the initiative button.
Yeah, but at least if I put you in the combat tracker, we can do it for sure there. So there you go. Then I'll roll it for Drost.
Ooh.
There we go. Okay, Drost was much higher. In that case, you got a 20 G. Ryloth got a 5. So let me go and put the guard in there too, actually. There we go.
Oh, I acted first, correct?
Yep. So while he was following by and Ryloth is moving forward, you see Ryloth begin to move his fingers in an arcane. You recognize as some form of an arcane somatic component. But you slip a knife out and just hold your arm out between the cells and just kind of press it against him slightly as he's moving forward, so that if he didn't stop, you would feel it. It would start to jab in. He stops and looks down, looks back up at you. Give me. Well, I was going to tell you to give me an intimidation roll, but I'll roll it for you. All right, let me finish this loading so I have the pop out for it here. There we go. You can probably, while we're doing this, G, you can probably update Chrome in the middle of it and then rejoin. You got an 18 on the intimidation.
Okay, cool.
So he looks down, looks back up at you, and he doesn't look scared, but he's kind of stopping there. He's still got his pike in his hand. It's just like basically the dagger is between the shaft of the pike, which is on the ground. He's touching it against the ground, and his rib cage. So you have the knife kind of between his, where under his elbow, essentially. Yorick is kind of just wide-eyed and like gleeful. You can see him kind of grinning, through the bars behind the guard there. What is Ryloth doing?
Ryloth is going to cast Charm Person.
Okay.
Do I have to target him, or can I just roll it?
I think you just roll it, and then you just put it in the thing, and then it'll be a save, and I'll have him roll the save.
Cool.
There you go. DC 16 Wisdom. He did not save. He got a 7. He did you turn around to do this? Do you have to turn around and see him? I don't remember. Let's see, Charm Person.
Well, I would have.
So you had to turn and look. Yeah, you had to turn and look.
I would have kind of been. I was kind of walking up and down the halls.
Okay.
So I would have turned and I would have moved my hands and I would have casted Charm Person on him. All right, my good friend. We don't have to do any of this. Come on, let's get these guys right here. We're going to go help all the rest of the people out front with this riot. The people who hurt my head, we're going to go help them out. How does that sound?
You see him make a subtle, almost frowning motion, like his lips kind of turn down. He's like, I think that's probably for the best, right? And he looks down
we're
at the
going to
knife.
go help.
He looks down at the knife. He looks back up at you. He says, come on. We don't need to resort to these kinds of things. You could have just asked.
Yeah. We've got this all sorted. It was a little misunderstanding.
Yeah, just a misunderstanding. It's okay.
All
right. Well, put the knife away. Let me get these keys out. Gee.
You're such a great man.
Okay.
You taking the knife back?
Yeah.
All right. He fumbles for the keys. He kind of leans the pike against the door, your door basically right against where you are. It's where his right hand was, literally where you could grab it. But this pike is just leaning up against your door, and he reaches down, grabs his keys, unlocks your door, turns around, unlocks the door for Yorick, comes back over, does Azra, and then unlocks the door for Westra. Okay, I guess if you guys are ready, let's get out there. They could be injured. We need to make sure we get there in time to help them.
All right, you go first. We're gonna catch up to you. We gotta go make sure we're prepared, but we're gonna be there in 5 minutes.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion check is not my strong suit. Oh, oops.
No, if we split up like this, we could get jumped on the way. I need to protect you guys as well. It's all part of the job. Come on, let's go.
All right, I think they're to the northeast. Let's start heading northeast. Is that good for everybody?
Northeast. They're south of here. They said the Rook and Kestrel.
That's not where I was attacked.
You're confused, old man. The mob went to the south. I'll wait outside. You guys let me know. You just hurry up. Let's go.
Let's go.
He walks out the front. He's standing out on the front porch.
I am going to...
The doors are open. You guys can come out. Yorick is already out. Like he's rubbing his wrists as if he was handcuffed. Clearly had not been manacled in any way, and immediately turns and starts running out the back.
Fuck! What are you guys doing? I feel like this dialogue did enough for this moment.
What are you guys doing?
All right, so I'm leaving the letter on the.
Okay. God damn it! I heard I'm leaving the letter, and then they cut out. So we'll give it a second. Ben, say something.
Well, I'm gonna cast. I guess I'm just gonna have to cast slow on him as he's running away.
Okay. I just removed your invisibility because you're not invisible anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, he was running that way, but you don't necessarily know if he was trying to get away. But because but he was running.
It wasn't obvious. He wasn't just fucking booking it.
It didn't seem like he was trying to get away from you necessarily. Okay. He's just getting.
And I am going to jog after him and tell him to slow down because I'm an old man. Slow down! I'm too old for this. Slow down!
If you're gonna have to speed it up, then you got some way of making yourself faster. We got to move.
Actually, I do. I'll cast Expeditious Retreat on myself so that I'm fucking faster than everybody.
All right. What are Westra, Drost, and Azra doing?
I'm gonna follow Westra, I guess.
Okay.
And who are the?
Westra's the one of you guys who can't speak at the moment because of broken Discord. So, assuming she's gonna go that way as well, then I'll just we'll move you guys along. But. You're gonna outrun.
Yeah, I'm just gonna catch right up next to him.
Okay. I'm gonna clear this.
I'm pretty sure. Is that concentration? Yeah, it is. I thought it was.
Yeah, Expeditious Retreat is definitely concentration.
So that's my concentration spell.
All right. Then you guys make your way out the east. You as soon as you are out the other door, there's a hey. Where'd you guys go? Hold on, and he starts the other guard.
To the police!
But he starts following in behind you guys. You probably have 100 feet on him. You have a little distance on him already. What are you guys doing? You're out on the street. There's occasionally you see guards, but nobody seems to notice much. So what are you guys doing?
I'm stealthily gonna go towards the horses to get them ready.
Okay.
Well, that's really far away. We should probably run before we stealth it, right?
Yeah, it's half speed if you stealth.
Yeah.
All right, let's hope it.
You just running as fast as you can, then everybody dashing.
Let's just dash. Let's just fucking. It's midnight. It's dark. Let's just fucking book it.
All right. Everybody give me stealth checks. We're gonna do a group check actually here.
Ooh.
Let's see. Stealth. Everybody
So
click
let's
on
see.
this.
This would be 120. This would be 180 feet every 6 seconds, or 240 feet every 6 seconds. Something absurd. All right. Stealth check.
I just popped a thing up. Do you guys see that? Did you guys get a thing that come up?
I don't think I did.
No? Okay. I wasn't sure if it would pop it up automatically for you guys. So go ahead and roll stealth checks, everybody.
Does it do like an automatic group check to where you can just click on it?
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to. Oh, you know what? I must not have sent it. There's probably.
Try it again. Try it again.
Yeah, well, I set it up. I didn't read how this one's supposed to work. I just got to see.
I'm trying to figure out how the trigger spots work. I haven't quite figured that out.
Oh, for trigger happy or whatever that is.
Yeah, trigger happy. Yeah. It's bright and shiny, and I want to play with it, but I don't know what it does.
Yeah, I haven't played with trigger happy much myself. All right, Becky, can you still hear us, Becky? I saw you type that.
Just scream really loud to the other room.
Yeah, it's weird that Ben's working okay right now, but not Becky. Usually it's the other way around. And it seems like Becky can hear us because she's typing still.
Oh, and Discord. I don't look at Discord while we play.
Yeah, I just have it up on an extra monitor. Okay. I guess for now, then, we'll try it again in a couple minutes. But at least this way, as long as you're able to hear us clearly, then less interruption for you if it's not breaking up.
We can go super old school. No maps, no nothing. Just text through Discord playing the game.
That's called something. Play by post, I think it was.
Oh, I get arthritis in my hands thinking about that.
Yeah, I don't see how it could be fun because everything would just be so slow. Yeah, Becky, it's your guys' network is where the slowdown's coming from. But I didn't know.
I'm lagging right now.
Are you? Okay. Let's see. Dross got a 15. Rayloth got a.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna use my. I'll use my. Oh wait, how many times a day can I use it? It might just be once a day. My ring of invisibility. I'm gonna double check on it.
Azra. Oh, you already did. Stealth is 20. So far, the average is good. So I just need one from Westra. Becky, do you want me to roll it for you? Are you frozen too?
Oh shit! No, I can just do it. So I'm just gonna use my ring of invisibility.
Oh.
While I'm running. Oh yeah, because it's not counts as a spell. It's just using a ring, right? So it doesn't.
Yeah, there's got to be charges or something though. It can't just be unlimited.
It doesn't say it on here.
Really?
See, remember, I put this character together super quick. I just was like, he'll just be a fun dude who can turn invisible, and so I threw that on a sheet. But I actually didn't read what it did. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Info, equip, proficient, 10 AC.
He rolled for you. You got a 16.
Yeah, I got it for you, Becky. I just rolled it just now. All right. Average is definitely okay. So the DC was 15, and you guys got above it on an average, so you're okay. Yeah, it just doesn't specify any limitations to it. Long term, we would limit it to.
If this wasn't a one-off character.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you choose for invisibility?
I have a ring of invisibility, but this is a character that was a.
Oh shit! Becky just pointed out something I hadn't thought about.
What?
So you're that she has disadvantage because her armor is noisy.
Oh yeah, it's just clinking around.
Yeah, so we'll see if this brings your average down too much. No, it's 16. It's fine. It was the same both times. Actually, so this time it actually was higher because the modifier was.
Tank. Like
actually, it just pushed the average up. Yeah. But you guys running out into the night, there are lampposts with gas lamps that are lighting the way a little bit, so you can see kind of every block is kind of split up that way. You do occasionally see guards, patrolling down the streets, and you duck around and do alleyways and make your way off to the east until still chasing behind Yorick. You guys keeping pace with them, of course. Easily outpaced the guard. He wasn't able to run as fast as you, dashing off into the night and keeping up with you that way. You make your way out to the edge of town to the stables there. Stables are dark. There's no lights out there. What are you guys doing?
Are we near the horses?
Yeah, go look for them.
Yeah, this is so you dropped off your horses with the grooms. That's where groom comes from. The word groom. That's somebody that works on a stable, takes care of horses. You left them with a groom. You don't know which stalls they were put into.
I'm gonna find one by smell. And
Okay.
what? I'm part fox. Come on here.
That's fair. That's fair.
And, I could probably find them all by smell. I'm gonna use light cantrip, just to have a bit of light, and then get the horses out and bring them to everybody.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check with advantage from Keen Senses.
How do you get advantage again? Like the
Hold shift. Hold shift when you click it. Yeah.
And it was perception.
Yep.
There we go.
Hey, all right, natural 20. You easily sniff down where your horse is. The horse you're using is named Decker. You track him down just fine. You're able to find Baloo and Cotton.
Where's Water Closet?
Where's what?
Water Closet.
Oh. So Becky would get that joke, but she can't talk. So.
Oh.
Which, speaking of, Becky, have you... I guess you probably haven't seen last week's yet, have you?
So I'm way behind.
I caught up right before I came back.
55 of season 2.
Came back 3 weeks ago. Oh yeah, you're still a long ways. Okay.
I don't listen to it anymore. I don't have any downtime that's suitable for
driving.
listening.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I'm not a robot, so I can't do two things at once. Like I can't work while it plays in the background.
I listen to podcasts while I sleep and still retain it. So work on practicing that. That'd be good for you. That's like fucking osmosis.
With yeah. It's a photosynthesis method that I've developed.
Well, osmosis is, absorbing, through, so it's knowledge osmosis. It'd be like sleeping with your head on a book, except podcast form. Audiobooks, I can't follow a narrative or anything like that, but I do, I'll wake up remembering bits because half the time I'll replay the episode the next day, and I'll be like, yeah, I remember this. I'll remember the enough of the detail from it. Anyway, then you managed to find all of your horses. You find Paige, who is a draft horse. She was a little bit too big to fit in the stall, the size of these stalls. These are like, just regular riding horse and traveling horse stalls. But Paige is a draft, and she's a bit big. So you find her just outside, and she's just sleeping against a fence post, just, laid down and sleeping against a fence post. But she kind of begins to stand herself up when you are gathering the rest of the other horses, with all of you guys gathered around and preparing them. York, looking around, where am I going? Like, I assume we've got a deal now, right? I mean, I gave you my word. I'll go with you. So am I hopping on the back of one of these? What's the plan? I mean, I don't want to presume that you'd be okay with me just stealing another horse, because that's what I would normally do, but, I don't want you guys to flip out and fucking tie my hands or something. So.
Hey, you know what we talked about. We don't want anyone else to die either, so let's just get on the horse and get out of town while we can.
Onto Paige with Ryloth?
So Ryloth, yeah, that's it. Paige would be
Ryloth, that's fine. Any of them.
Ryloth would be, because you have 4 horses total. So Paige would be the 4th one, and that would be who Ryloth would use, unless he wants to use his beetle. But that getting out of town, he can only do that for an hour or whatever, right, Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get why I named him Jeff?
I
think it was 22.
I named him Sprinkles.
Yeah, but I had named him Jeff before you told me that. And it's from, I think it was 21 Jump Street, where when they're talking, my name's Jeff. Do you remember what I'm talking about? That's what I fucking, like, for some reason.
They're super high as shit.
Yeah, no, it's when they're pretending to be cholos, and Jonah Hill is walks up to him, tells him that he's he gives him some Hispanic sounding name, even though he's clearly just a white dude. And then Channing Tatum says, "My name's Jeff," and it was because I couldn't come up with a name, and I'm like, "What am I going to name a fucking beetle?" So I just named him Jeff. So it made me laugh every time, even though it was dumb.
Have you guys seen The Umbrella Academy on Netflix? It's a decent show. I didn't realize it, but they have a hyper intelligent monkey butler, and his name is Pogo. And I've seen it, and I watched the whole show, and I don't know if part of me he's nothing like my character, but yeah, their hyper intelligent monkey butler's name is Pogo.
Well, okay, then let's not say that he's entirely unlike Pogo.
He's way too smart for. He's like hyper.
Okay, so the monkey part's fine. It's the intelligent part.
He's way too smart to be like Pogo. He doesn't fuck around or anything.
All right. Then you guys manage to hop on horses and steal off into the dead of the night. riding off to get as far away from town as you can. Looking back over your shoulder, there is clearly smoke and a decent sized fire in town. Potentially in the direction from where they had said, where that barmaid had said there was a fight going on, and that they were attacking. That mob was attacking the Rook and Kestrel. But you make your way out into the wilderness.
So while we're riding away though, and looking at this burning town, I'd like to kind of turn to York and be like, "So, out of curiosity, what part of that town falling apart helps you out?"
So first of all, it's not the whole town that's burning. It just looks like a building. So it doesn't look like the whole place.
I'm saying it kind of facetiously.
Yeah, that's totally okay. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't think the town was destroyed. He says nothing. I need them. They're my customers.
Yeah, but you know that other stuff is what's making them all crazy. That Red Claw.
You're riding, in front, and he's behind you, right?
Sure.
He's on your horse, so
yeah, that's fine.
All right, then you don't see, but he would essentially be shrugging, is the impression you get.
All right. I mean, do you still want to keep doing that, or do you want to do you get a lot from that action? I'm just wondering, is it worth it?
Look, if they want to destroy their lives by drinking the stuff, and they're going to pay me to do it, who am I to say no? Somebody else would provide it. Why not let me have that coin instead of giving it to somebody else's pockets? I
mean, do you really think someone else is going to go? How many illegal organizations that selling shit beer that makes people crazy are there? It can't be that many. I'm just wondering, just think it out loud here.
Look, the Hopeless is just one of a dozen gangs in this area. If we didn't take the call and offer to distribute this product, then someone else would have. I'd rather me and my men get rich off of their addictions than let somebody else have it.
Okay. I was just curious.
But that said, no, I don't want the town to burn. And as much as they were about to hang me, we probably only had another 12 hours or something in us. But I still, even Callias, he's a good man at heart. I don't want any harm to come to him either.
Yeah, you kind of seem a little like you're almost maybe a little too concerning for people's well-being, considering the line of work you're in.
No, it's done me and my men good.
All right.
If you treat people like they're disposable...
Did you get hugs as a child? Did you not get hugged a lot as a child?
He chuckles and then squeezes, because he's sitting behind you, with his arms around you, holding onto the horse. He just squeezes a little bit. He says, how about that for a hug? Squeezes a little too hard, like ribs cracking kind of hard. How's that for a hug, old man?
I'm not into that, but okay. I'm just gonna be quiet now. Okay.
All right, then you guys heading off to the northeast towards the volcano. Becky, can you still hear okay? Is everything going okay for you guys? You want to try talking?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, you sound perfectly fine. Becky, you want to try?
Still don't hear her.
She's typing. I can see that she's typing. Okay. Is it clear, Becky? Are you? Do you want to take a break and try restarting your router again or anything?
I need to go grab something to drink, so I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
Don't sit right behind the chair, buddy.
Or Dexter.
Okay, I'm quickly gonna make a cup of tea then.
Okay.
Or pot, depending. I'll be back.
No problem. All right. We can take a quick break, guys, if you give Becky a chance to reset that and see if that helps.
Okay.
So it's actually going to take me a few minutes longer. I made just a ground turkey kind of meat thing on the stove, and my dog definitely, while I'm playing, got up on the stove and is fucking. Oh, Dexter ate like a pound of turkey. So give me like 5 minutes. I gotta go clean all that up. I was gonna give him some too. I literally went in the kitchen. I got his food. And I was like, all right, let's get you a treat. And I was going to pour some of it in. I just looked at the stove and I'm like, oh, no. And I was confused as to why he immediately ran outside.
But your stove is induction, right? So he wouldn't have burned himself. He should be okay.
It was off for...
okay, I gotcha.
It was already cooling.
He let it cool off to room temperature before you ate it?
Much. Yeah. I'll be back in a few.
Okay. Dexter's a good boy. He deserves a good turkey dinner. Are you still watching? Are you still on G? Like on the, you're on the screen and everything for Foundry?
Yeah, but it's not. Okay, this one didn't come up. It says the screen's not supported or whatever because of the. Yeah, because of the version of Chrome. I went and looked how do you update it, because I went and looked on how to update it, and I didn't see the little button that it was supposed to have, like on the Chrome page. It said something about like, there's more, and then you go and click update or something. I didn't see it. So. Okay.
So what do you mean? It says okay. So you're logged in. Can you snap a picture up with your phone and send me the picture real quick?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I just googled how do you update Chrome, and that's what it.
No, I mean what Foundry says right now. Even if you can't roll on your sheet, that's okay. I would like you to be able to see the maps and everything, and then I'll just I can just keep rolling your sheet for you if needed. And
it was working good until a minute ago.
Well, that's the thing is I just changed it to another kind of it's all of the individual like maps and everything. Those are called scenes in Foundry, and the one that I changed it to is a different kind. It's basically like remember the one that I had on all of last week that was just the city, just a picture of the city.
Yeah.
With clouds on over it. This is the same kind of thing, except it's the volcano from the bellows. Okay, so the next scene that we're going to be going to is really cool, but you're probably not going to be able to see the map until we fix this, G. So what we'll do is... That sucked, because it was really cool. Like, I made two versions of it. I made a backup version in case it doesn't work. We'll try it. We'll try it when we get there, and if it's still having problems, then I'll switch to the backup version. Just because it's not that big of a deal. I would like you to be able to see it because it is pretty cool. You will be able to see it on the recording if you wanted to, so you could just watch 2 minutes of the recording and see the what it looks like. But yeah, not a huge deal. Do me a favor, where you already have it loaded, go ahead and hit F5. Well, hit refresh. So click the little refresh icon to the left of the address bar.
Okay.
And see if it'll load it up for you. I'm going to put in my notes here to grab a ready check for next week. There's probably a module for it already. It's funny, this one shot was supposed to take, I estimated about 3 to 4 sessions total originally. And this is session number 5. And and you guys are like where the beginning of the second session would be with the way that I had originally had it planned. So you guys took 4 sessions to get through what I thought was going to be 1 session worth of content. But one of them was like really short. One of them was just a half-an-hour one because I was having troubleshooting issues, remember? But that's still,
that was a terrible, boring first 2.5 hours.
Yeah, the first the troubleshooting part obviously took up the majority of that for that whole session. We only had like 37 minutes, I think, of play for that whole session.
Yeah. What really is lame is he knows he did something bad, and I had to clean it all up. But in the process of cleaning it all up, a lot of it still fell back on the floor. And I really shouldn't have, but I didn't feel like cleaning it up. And I'm like, all right, get it back here and finish the job. Just keep eating my food, whatever.
Because it's easier than clean it up yourself.
It is.
Just to let him have it.
Easier. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So are we still waiting for a restart to see if it works?
Yeah, Becky's had to restart her computer, so we're just waiting for her to come back up.
What are your thoughts on the whole what is it, the Department of Homeland Security deploying the rental vans with the full military gear police forces in Portland? They're just snatching people up and don't have to say why or like anything. What do you, dude? That's some fucking crazy. What do you think is going to be
police state? That's China.
Yeah. What do you think is going to be because for me the tipping point to where I will go full on crazy fucking revolt is if Trump loses and doesn't forfeit the presidency. Yeah. Then I will legitimately go to the White House with hopefully hundreds of thousands of people, destroy the walls and drag them out. People will die, but it would be worth it.
Yep. That's
mine. What's your tipping point, you think?
That I don't think I could even quite go that far because that's almost an inevitability that he will try to stay inside the White House. He won't be in office officially, of course, but at least current polls, even he won't win right now. At least as the fellow polls are right now, even with Kanye West taking 2% of the vote. He's
do you think he's taking 2%? Because there's no way he's taking 2% of the Republican vote, right? It's all the Democrat vote.
Well, okay, so that's on purpose. So I'll get to that in 1 second. As far as my tipping point, though, it's not even that far. I mean, I have daily daydreams of caving Trump's skull in with like a 9-iron. I'm not a big fan of golf, but
here's the thing, though. We can think about it. What would it take for you to literally take time off work and go to Washington to physically do something?
Yeah,
it would take a lot.
It would require a ton of planning, though, and it would have to be a rifle. Like, there's no way you're getting close enough with despite the physical reward, how rewarding it would be to rip a jaw off with a 9-iron, you'd have to do it with a rifle at long distance. It'd be the only feasible way, which isn't nearly as fun, unless you're Joseph Lee Malvo.
I'll pretend like I know who that is.
Do you remember the DC sniper?
Oh yeah, that was Joseph Lee Malvo.
Yeah, that's Malvo. Yeah.
Do you remember the jokes afterwards? Like I think it was Chris Rock. It was like just another crazy white person.
Oh wait,
and he was black.
Yep.
Shit, no one saw that coming.
Yeah. So for the thing is with Kanye West, here's the issue, right? So remember for 3.5, 4 years now, Kanye West has been a strong Trump supporter, right? Now, everyone knows that no actual Republican base would ever vote for Kanye West. So, as a Trump supporter, if Trump and if they have a conversation between the two, which he was just at like 2 days before his announcement that he's going to run for president, he was at the White House meeting with Trump. Oh. And then there was not only that, there was a $68 million tax cut that Kanye West got. Coincidentally, like 2 months before all of this, right? Yeah. So he's out there having this conversation with Trump, and then 2 days later announces that he renounces all of this. He's not a friend of Trump, and blah blah blah, and he's going to run for president and try to beat Trump. That's what he says. So now, the whole thing is obvious. So this is it's a false flag intent to drag the base of the Democrats, or at least just even let's say that it would only be a Democratic base that would vote for him because none of the Republicans would. No. All that does is draw votes away from Biden, who is totally incompetent anyway, utterly incapable of the position as well.
I don't even give a shit. I just care who he puts in as VP because he's going
to die. He'll die anyways. Yeah, so
it doesn't matter as long as you got a half competent VP, someone who graduated the 12th grade and has read at least 7 books in their life. That's all I ask.
Good. I mean, it'll probably end up being a woman, which would be cool. But then that means that our first woman president is in by accident
because has an asterisk next to her name.
Yeah, exactly. Because Grandpa Biden got Alzheimer's and wandered off the pond somewhere.
If it's Elizabeth Warren, I am so fucking cool.
No, I do not like
Elizabeth Warren. I don't mind her at all. She seems like a justice warrior. I like justice.
There's that. I'm okay with that part. I'd like to see somebody with a little more spine and ideally some military background as well. I'd like to see Kamala Harris specifically. That's who I like.
Kamala Harris is rad. Who is the guy that lost his eye and 1 foot?
Crenshaw.
That guy's fucking so cool. He's not running for president.
I also like. Oh god damn it, Tibby. Not Tibby. What's her name? She's a Hawaiian. I think she's a senator from Hawaii.
Yeah, I really like her. She's the one that lost both her legs in a helicopter crash, Black Hawk crash.
I don't think she lost her legs. No, she has the white streak in her hair.
There's I don't think I know who that is. The one senator who lost 2 of her legs and always gives Trump shit about when he's really bad for the military.
Hang on. Is that Becky? Is that Ben and Becky's dogs that I was hearing, or that wasn't Dexter? Was it?
No.
Yeah, it's already.
Hey!
Yeah, you sound totally clear. It was clear enough that I heard dogs. It was like, well, that's 2 dogs. That's not Dexter. Sorry, Justin. That sounds mean. I didn't think of it like how I said that until afterwards.
That's fine. Dexter's actually, I closed the door. He's not allowed in the room.
Oh, all right.
Little turkey-eating son of a bitch.
All right. Is Fox back, or is she still making tea?
I'm back. I was just listening to part of the conversation. I kind of came in when you said you wanted somebody with maybe a military background. I'm just like, why?
Because they have a higher pursuit of honor and justice.
Yeah, it's not specifically the military portion of it. I would say somebody who was disenfranchised after being in the military is how I'd say that, which is pretty much anyone with any amount of honor that's ever been in the military. That's always the case.
So when it goes to the milmilitary, comes back and says we need to change some shit.
Yes, that this is awful. That's generally it. But because there's a certain amount of dedication and kind of regiment to it that requires hard work and that kind of stuff, and I think that job obviously needs that. So anyway,
and if you can get through the military and still show that you were an intelligent human being, like who's the mayor of the gay mayor Buttigieg? Buttigieg.
It's pronounced Buttigieg, but yeah.
Like he was in the military for I think 6 years. He speaks 5 fluent languages. He ran his own company. Super young governor of a state, or no mayor.
Yeah, he'd have been a good candidate too.
Well, he's one of those people who hopefully comes back in 16 years and has more under his belt. But it's hard when you're that young.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna throw everything. Like, hey, you've only been in politics for 2 years or 4 years. And it's like,
yeah. All right, so everybody, let's see. Ben, did you refresh or something, G? I know you were refreshing. Did it come back up? I saw you in for a minute, and then it's gone again.
Yeah, it came up fine, and then I accidentally closed out of it, so I'm popping back in now. I can see the volcano in the background and stuff. The bellows.
Perfect. Okay, cool. All right, so then you guys, are far enough out of town that it does not appear that you are being pursued. No one appears to be, after you as far as you can tell. You don't see any lights on the road. There's further towns further in the distance. You can see, just because it's a relatively clear night, you can actually see the lights of the city, the capital city of Mist, far off to the southeast. So I mean, it looks like you're clearly escaped, are out in the wilderness. It is at this point about 1:30 in the morning, you estimate, maybe 2 a.m. You have not rested for the day, of course, so if you guys can continue to push on, but you would have a long rest, or you would have exhaustion rather for not sleeping. Yorick is just go like he's pushing on. In fact, it's almost like pushing it right out the back, trying to get you to make the horse go faster.
Calm down. We're fine. Is there a reason we need to be in a rush?
You can tell he kind of from the difference in the air of moving past. He's looked over his shoulder. I don't know. It's not the first time that I've been spooked by showing up at the end of a rope real quick, but. I don't know, just trying to get as much distance between them and us as possible.
So now that I feel like you can trust that we're not working with them, right? You understand we have our own agenda here, correct?
You can't see his face, but he would be scowling at Westra. He says, "Speak for yourself, old man. I think that she's got it out for me."
All right, well, I just wanted to still know, what are we, you said that there's something blocking this pass. Is it something that we're gonna talk through, or what is it? What's the deal? What's the game plan here?
Well, we get up there. The little guys, the real angry little guys, they'll Well, when my men and I would come up anyways, they would bring us wagons full of the stuff, and we would ride our way back down. There's a rickety bridge. You know, we've gone across it a few times, but real rickety, real
get into your house. Like, I don't really give a shit about your other business. I just want to get what you stole, the copies that you wrote down. That's all I need.
It's on the other side of that bridge.
Oh, okay. Hey, apparently there's a rickety bridge we gotta go over, everybody. Are we resting for a minute, or are we just gonna keep pushing through? I guess it is super late, huh? It's like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, almost 2 a.m.
I think maybe we should rest. I'm sorry, Yorick, but it's 2 a.m. We keep going. How much? It's got to be. How much longer is it?
7 hours.
Yeah, we should probably find a safe place to rest.
Do you know a safe place, like a smuggler's hold or someplace around here we can bed down?
I mean, a time or two when we've come back with wagons, we've gone out that way, just off the road a bit. There's some rocks, decent little area to hide the wagons, enough trees to make a decent camp.
All right. So he says there's a spot up here.
All right, lead the way.
Going. All right. You okay with that, Yorick? We're gonna hide out for the evening. It's pretty late. We could probably all use some sleep.
You hear him kind of.
We've had a long day too. We've all had a long day.
You hear him kind of stifle a yawn. Yeah. We should probably do that. It's gonna be hot enough when we get up there, and I'll tell you, that heat's fucking exhausting. So you're gonna need the sleep.
All right.
All right. Then he kind of just gesturing, using your shoulders, kind of tilts you in the right direction so that you can lead Paige off to the northeast of the road a little ways. Takes you around it's a rocky area that has kind of a depression, like a small, like would be a canyon except real small, and it just dips down below the level of the road so that you can't see the road anymore, and presumably anyone following the road would not be able to see in this area. There's a decent little copse of trees. You guess, if you had a fire, it would probably be visible to someone on the road, but apart from that, the area is otherwise not visible to the road itself. And you follow into this little depression and out into the trees. This is it right here. I think this will probably do, unless you guys, unless you need to cook or something like that. I think we can probably just hold up here for the night.
I'm going to scrutinize the area a bit and question. I think I've asked this before, but if I have rituals, can I cast them without having them prepared because I'm using the whole time to prepare?
Yeah, specifically because you're a wizard. Yes, wizards have that ability to do that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm.
And actually, you took ritual caster, so you'd be able to anyways. Oh, never mind. That's Artemis. But yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do alarm, and then I'm also gonna use tiny hut as a ritual.
Okay. You're doing both his rituals?
Yes.
Put tiny hut in the chat for me. Yeah. Alarm is 1 minute, I think. So it'd be 11 minutes with the right. Go ahead and put alarm and tiny hut in the chat. There we go. There's tiny hut. All right. So it's 1 minute. So that's 11 minutes if you get tiny hut up. And yeah. Okay. So 22 minutes in, you take a small bit of string, hanging bells from it, and run it between some trees all the way around, casting an arcane alarm on those. That if anyone crosses that perimeter, it would make a lot of noise, and then begin the preparations for creating the dome for a tiny hut. 22 minutes later, of course, that'll be full. What are you guys doing with the horses?
Hiding them in the tree. Hiding them within. Actually, we could probably put the horses. Well, how big is this perimeter? By the way, Yorick, this is a magic wall. And if you go try to walk past it, it's going to make a shitload of noise.
Hey.
He flips you off.
Hey!
I know what an alarm is. I know what an alarm is.
Don't pretend I didn't. Just because you're a nice guy doesn't mean that I forgot what you did, all right?
I am going to walk up to Yorick.
But
Look, I don't like you very much, and I really don't care if you like me or not, but we don't really have a choice at the moment but to work together, so as a sign of good faith, I won't demand that you're tied up while we sleep, so you can't run off in the middle of the night.
Otherwise, we'll tell everyone that you're a liar, and that your word doesn't mean shit.
He looks you in the eye. He says, I gave you my word. I won't be trying to escape. I told you I'd help you get that journal back. And while we're at it, if your goal is to try to help Callias with the dealing with the little guys trying to send the Red Claw down this way, I mean, it's going to put a big dent in my business. But at the same time, if we can kind of take them out, then I won't have a middleman anymore, and I can just take over distribution myself. So all the better for all of us. This stuff is dangerous anyways. We can just start selling regular old ranch. Okay, then go back to the way it was. I'm fine with that.
All right, then I guess we got ourselves a deal.
He spits in his hand, sticks it out to you.
I'm gonna
Do the same.
I'm gonna spit in my hand and just put it on top. I don't know what this means, but this feels good.
For some reason, that is so much worse. Like like on top of the other hand.
And it's like thick old man spit, like I just drank milk.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
He takes his hand away. He like pulls it, reaches behind himself, starts kind of wiping his cloak with it. He says, "Was that really necessary, old man?"
And I'm gonna just giggle. I'm gonna pull this little ear on the chain on this little rope around and be like, "Did you see that?" And I'm gonna start walking away back towards the camp area.
All right.
I'm gonna look at you and be like, yeah, he's fucking crazy.
He just kind of nods, winks a little bit. The perimeter, I think, is 30 feet, right? It's not huge for alarm, so the horses would probably be outside of it, presumably, because it'd be a real tight fit to get all of them in there, especially with Paige being a draft horse. But they are, they're your horses. They're not, you don't expect that they would run unless they were otherwise scared or spooked out to. But unless you want to hobble them, because you can hobble a horse so that they can't run if you wanted to. They just can't graze as much. But if you just let them be, I mean, if you traveled with them plenty of times, except for Paige you don't usually have to take, but now with Azra around, you are taking Paige with you more often. So, anyways, Baloo, Cotton, and Decker, you guys let them out. Then they are just grazing around the outside. You guys setting up a fire or no?
There'd be a small fire inside, like the hut spell.
The air won't permeate, so you would be filling the dome with smoke if you did so.
I mean, it's a hell of a way to go if you can choose.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it doesn't have a fireplace or anything. Not in Tiny Hut. In I think the next upgrade, because there's like 4 versions of those specific like arcane enclosures like that. The mansion being the last one. And
I thought it was just like a tiny little like 1-bedroom hut to where like a little shack to where you could open the door or window.
It's actually hut is a bad name for it. It's actually literally a dome. It's just a dome.
Never mind then. No fire at all.
Okay. You don't want to kill everybody from smoke inhalation while they're sleeping.
No.
Is anyone else getting a headache?
There's also no carbon monoxide detector inside of it either.
Yeah, definitely not. To make it easier, like because it's like a small area, I'm just gonna turn into a bat and curl up with Maru.
Okay.
Hanging up from like the upside down of the dome. Because it lasts for however long I want, right? Because like it's
that's 8 hours.
A minute or.
No, it's 8 hours. Yeah, 1 minute is a cast time. Yeah. Yeah, it lasts for 8 hours, and you can make it translucent so that you guys can see out. But from the outside, nothing can see in.
Oh no, I meant my shifting.
Oh, I gotcha. I'm sorry.
Like,
that's
my shifting is really weird because it says, as a boner action, you can assume a more bestial appearance. Blah blah blah.
As a boner action.
The chance for a minute until I die or until I revert back to normal as a bonus action. So it's a bonus action for both, but it's like confusing because it lasts up to a minute until I die or until I revert back. So
I'm looking at shifting feature, and it's not on. At least that part I didn't see on the shifting feature. Where were you reading it from?
Shifting feature.
Well, that just says advantage on blah blah blah. Unless you're incapacitated while shifted, you have advantage on. That doesn't, at least what I'm seeing.
For you.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at under your features. Okay, I see it. Let's see.
It is under features, though. That's unless something else is under features, too?
Well, okay, so it lasts for 1 minute. That's it. So.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. It's if the other things happen less than, if you shifted and then 30 seconds later you died or you choose to revert, then it would last less than a minute. Otherwise, it maxes out at 1 minute.
Okay, never mind. That's kind of weird that I can't like stay shifted for a while.
I mean, that's how this ability works. But yeah, it's intended for fights and stuff. Probably. The thing is, if they put it on there, then it would be stepping on the class feature, the primary class feature for druids.
Gotcha. Okay.
So.
All right, never mind then. I'll just.
There's still plenty of room for the 4 of you though, and Maru. So, well, 5 of you rather with Yorick. You guys have the hut. Yorick stays down at the foot of it. He doesn't go inside the dome, at least to start with. Early in the night. He doesn't appear to be trying to leave or anything of that sort. He just is leaned back against it, looking up the stars.
Tied that shit around his foot, huh?
Tied what around his foot?
The alarm.
Oh.
Yeah. You gotta be very quiet when you sleep. You can't move.
I'm not going anywhere.
So is he outside the dome or is he inside the dome?
He's sitting outside the dome, just leaning up his back against it.
I don't think they can hear us talk if they're outside the dome. Can they?
You can hear. Yeah, you can hear through it
okay.
and everything. Yeah. From the outside, he can't hear inside. So if you guys are inside, he can't hear you.
Oh, are we
Other
inside
way around. Well, that's up to you. That's what I'm saying. So Azra put the dome up.
I'm gonna take my big, nice, burly, overlarge coat, and I'm gonna ball it up a little bit for a little cushion, and I'm gonna go get cozy inside this nice. Who made this, anyways? Who made this nice little place? Is it Azra? Was that you?
I'm just gonna nod.
Yeah, it's very comfortable. I like it a lot. Thank you. And I'm gonna try to drift off to sleep.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit outside the dome for a little bit and go through some of that shit that I stole.
Okay. So you left the alchemic water, but you didn't. You kept the rest of it. You just left the alchemical water, right?
Yeah, because that's all they saw me take.
Okay, I was going to say, was that the intent that that's all that they saw you grab? So okay. All right. Then you grab the haversack and start pulling things out. What is Dross doing?
He's in the bathroom. I'm not sure he can hear you.
Okay. What's Azra doing?
I'm gonna mess around with the alchemy kit to see if I can't make any potions. They're probably gonna not last long or do much, but I did have an alchemy kit, like alchemy supply.
You did, yeah. I saw it actually. You'd had it from your character creation, even.
Yeah, because it was like I could choose like a couple of things. And I'm like,
yeah, one of the tools.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yep. So amongst the you had a whole table that you kind of swept off into a bag, and amongst all of that, there is quite a bit of little odds and ends for the kinds of things you would use for alchemical creations, but you would need a recipe of some kind to follow, or at least some basic idea of what to use. You do see some sage root in that, and you do know that you have to steep it for a little while, so you have to brew it and then steep the wild sage root to make potions, to make just simple healing potions called Stridos. And you're pretty confident that you could do that. At least you could make an attempt, and your odds would be decent enough that you could successfully make some. It may not be potent for very long, but at least you could probably make it. But it would take a fire to do it because you have to boil the water first.
Okay, so I'm just gonna wait. Do I have to stay inside the hut for it to stay up?
No. Oh shit. Yes, you do actually. Yeah, because as soon as you leave is when it falls. I think. Let me look at the spell again. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. The spell ends if you leave its area. Yeah.
Okay. So can I be like half inside the spell and half outside?
No. You can't leave your feet inside and lean outside and make a fire just outside the dome. No, that won't work.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Wester to boil water.
Okay, that's fair. Wester, you can't hear her from outside, but you see her through. Actually, well, it's up to you if you make the dome translucent. So presumably you make it translucent to try to get her attention. But Wester, you see Azra trying to wave you over.
All right, I'll go over.
Can you boil some water and bring it back, please?
Sure. I'm gonna walk a little ways away from camp to do the fire, so it's not, right there.
Okay.
And then as soon as it's boiled, I'm putting the fire out.
Okay.
Yep.
Then while you are boiling the water and going through the things, you see the stuff that you've pulled out that you stole. There are 3 very smooth metal rods. They look basically like a perfect metal dowel. You know what a dowel is, right? Like a cylinder.
It's a bit of wood.
Yeah, except in this case metal, but yeah, like a fag.
Yeah.
A little bit of wood.
It's a bundle of sticks.
Apparently there were these sausages from like the 70s called Fags and Gravy, I think is what it was
You know
called.
what I kind of like, by the way? You know what I
For
kind
real,
of like?
there's like this commercial from the 70s that's like Fags and Gravy and how delicious. It's like this British
You know what?
commercial that this British foppish dude talking about Fags and Gravy.
I will at least admit that we've come a long way to where I do get uncomfortable saying that word now.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Back compared to when we were playing Halo and we just
exactly.
it for,
When Ben and I were
zero
kids,
consequences, and now I'm like, I don't know. I try to avoid saying that. Like it makes me
exactly.
I don't use it anymore either. Or retard. We used to use retard all the time too. You know, I don't use that anymore either.
Yeah, I like every time that I say it specifically, this is annoying, but
bad.
it doesn't. Retard still feels fine to me, except every single time I say it, it's like, oh, that's gonna make Leah mad. Like even if
okay.
Because Justin,
I will admit that
fiance,
is one that I don't. What's funny is I never say the word retard. I always say retarded. It's never.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, that's different.
I say like
that's it. That's exactly what I do. Yeah,
isn't that weird? Like it just
Yeah.
flows off the tongue because it's
still
always
does to
an
me,
accident. Like it comes out. I'm like, oops, like my
But
bad.
even when we're not, because Justin's fiance Leah, she plays our Thursday game. So even when we're not playing, or even if I'm not hanging out with Justin and Leah or something like that, if I'll say it, I'll think like I shouldn't say that. It's fucking irritating because like I've said it my whole life, and it's just stupid that language gets co-opted in such a way. But anyway.
I feel like we all have such crazy shit going on in the world too. We're like,
there's bigger issues
let's put
to deal
in
with.
just whatever little effort we can to make anyone's life slightly better.
Exactly. Yeah, might as well. No need to unnecessarily hurt somebody.
Yeah, exactly. At this point in time.
So the 3 metal rods, though, looking very closely at them in the firelight, you see that there are these very intricate. They look like they should be carvings, but they must be like drawn on or something, because there's no depression to them. If you run your fingernail over them, it's still a perfectly smooth surface, but it looks like there's etchings that look arcane of some kind, maybe surrounding it. The box of dried herbs that you grabbed, you don't necessarily recognize any of them in particular. They mostly look like weeds, but clearly they had some purpose, because this box that you stole with it is very finely made, and why would you just stuff dried weeds in that? So clearly they have some value to them. The table that you pushed off, so that you just basically find little bits of floating around in the bag as you pull them out, are some that look like radishes, some that have other like stalks, like a green onion might. There's a bunch of little bits and pieces. There's a couple of pastes that are sitting in bowls that when you pull them out, the paste is starting to slip out. You have to kind of fix the bowl because the bowl was floating upside down inside the bag, and as soon as you pull it out, gravity starts to pull it out. So they start to slip out. You kind of have to catch the paste. A couple of other small vials of similar translucent water that when you shake it looked exactly the same as the alchemic water that you back did, or left on the bed did. And then the last bit you found, I think you had taken 6 of them, were these rolls of parchment that were rolled up like perfectly smooth. They look like they'd been cut with shears, whereas usually a scroll might have kind of ruffled edges and everything. These were made perfectly. Unfurling them, they all have either languages you don't recognize or what are obviously arcane symbols on them that you don't recognize.
Okay. As soon as the water is done boiling, I'm going to take the water to Azra, and then I'm going to give her, like, here, I found this box of herbs. I don't know what the hell's in there. It's all yours. And a few of these rolls of parchment. I'm assuming you can use these for something.
Okay, I'll grab them and look them over.
Okay. There's 6 of them. Are you giving her all 6?
Yeah, because I have no idea what they do.
Okay.
I can't do anything with them.
Yorick, seeing you walking in carrying, did you put the things back in the bag and then walk over carrying the pot of boiling water, or?
Yeah, because I would have had to carry the pot of water, so.
Okay, all right, so you put them all back then? All right. Yorick's is making soup?
I have no idea. She asked for some boiling water, so she's
He
getting
kind of
boiling
pats
water.
his stomach. I mean, if you guys are cooking, I wouldn't be averse to something warm.
I'm just
I'm
gonna look
point
at Azra.
him and just say I'm making potions so we can maybe survive the trip around.
He didn't hear you. You're inside the dome. He didn't hear anything. You can hear him. He can't hear you. But Azra then, passes through the wall with the boiling water.
You said one of the things looked like a radish. One of the things I had taken off the table.
Oh, is that radishes? Are we eating radishes? What's happening?
I was saying I'm gonna dig in the bag after I give her the pot of water and toss him a radish and be like, "Sorry, this is all I got."
Is that food?
He looks down at it. He says, lifts it up and sniffs at it. Yeah, I think this is one of the famous knot-side radishes, and he tosses it, just flings it. He's grabbing by the flowery part, the part that's above the ground for radish, and flings it over to Ryloth.
I do not know how to cook radishes.
Oh, you don't need to cook those. You just chomp right into it.
You fucking eat a radish?
They're surprisingly tasty.
Like a donkey?
Give it a shot.
I'm gonna roll over and can I take a bite out of this radish?
So go ahead. Give me a Constitution save.
No.
All right. I haven't had a. What do you call it? What kind of radish is it gonna be?
Not side radishes. We're famous for
I'm pretty
them.
excited. Oh, I just realized when you can't click on your token, you don't get your nifty little.
The HUD. Yeah. I think what I'll end up doing for the VA scenes like this is I'll probably just put your guys' tokens on the map, like down at the bottom.
Sweet. But when you click Constitution, it says if you want an ability check or a saving throw, so that's easier. Yes.
Okay.
It's not bad.
You nibble into it. It is bitter and extreme, like tart almost. It tastes fruit-like though, not really like a radish. But it's not. I mean, it's not inedible. It just doesn't taste like food.
Yeah. No, I'll wait. I'll find something.
He's giggling. He says, "Yeah, it was worth a shot. Get you off my back.
No, thank you.
Just make your stomach a little upset for the night."
Yeah, I mean, we're all in one dome, so that's gonna hurt everybody.
I think I'll sleep out here tonight just in case. All right, but Westra has brought you a pot of boiling water.
Oh, I'm gonna say thanks and then grab it and start steeping some potions into
Okay.
vials.
With the duration of a long rest, you'd have time to make 2 attempts. So it will be because I can't put custom skills on here yet, so I'll figure out a way to do that. But in the meantime, go ahead and roll a d20, and your proficiency is where's your proficiency plus? No, that's initiative. Proficiency is 3, and your intelligence is 2, so plus 5. So d20 plus 5.
Okay, so the vials, they were all just alchemical water?
Yeah, you had 4 vials of alchemical water that you pulled from there, but the table of the concoctions and stuff that you pulled off, the only stoppered vials, the only full vials that were, a finished product. Well, I would say a finished product, but they're just vials of alchemical water that you use to make other things. They're basically what she's using the boiling water for. That's already done. That step's already done for her. If you were to give those to her, but you didn't know that at the time, she just asked for boiling water.
Yep, nope. I will hand those over to her as well because I don't make potions. So
Okay.
they're all
All
hers.
right. Well, that's fair. Yeah. If you were just going to hand them to her, okay. Then in that case, the DC would be easier.
I'm not sure that did it right because I was trying to.
Well, yeah. You rolled 2d20. I'll just use the individual numbers. You rolled a 10 and a 19. So 10 plus 5 is 15. So both of them would be successful.
Okay.
So with these. So she brought you boiling water, and she also brought you 4 vials of alchemical water, and you could use those instead of the boiling water, but you could just use the boiling water and do it yourself, since you already brought it anyways.
Okay. I would have just used the boiling water and passed her a bit of nuts and jerky for the other guy.
Okay.
Food-wise, because that's all I have on me right now.
Okay. Then you've managed to make 2 standard potions. In looking them over, you feel pretty confident that they'll last you at least for a couple of days. That they'd still be potent for a couple of days. So if you waited too long, they would start to lose some of their potency. But at least for now, they would be fully have full strength to them.
Yay. Okay.
Ben, are you back? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What is Dross doing?
I am just going to be looking around. I know the perimeter's up, but I'm kind of looking outside the perimeter to see if there's anything coming around out there.
Okay.
The little bell perimeter.
Yorick from outside, you guys, the 3 of you that are inside, Ryloth is still out, or did you go back in, Justin? Okay.
I'm still in. I'm trying to go to sleep.
All right. Oh, okay. Then in that case, all of you from outside, you hear Yorick saying, is anybody keeping watch? You guys... I don't mind. I guess I can do it first, but I'd like to get some shut eye eventually too.
I'll take first watch.
I'll do one too, whenever.
All right. Sounds good to me. Then I guess I'll just nap out here, and you just wake me up when it's my turn. You'll only need the 3 of you anyway, so. Westra, give me a flat d20 roll.
Yeah.
Let's see. Middle of the night. This is, let's see, be halfway through your shift, let's say, so we're looking at about 3 a.m.-ish. You estimate just looking up the stars. There is a bright light from the northeast. It's off far in the distance. It's not near enough to be a threat or anything, but it does draw your attention because it's just above the tree line. And since you're already in a depression, that means it's up pretty good height. You can't quite see the mountain range from here. I mean, you can't see the volcano rather, but you can see the mountain range of the Bellows. And somewhere along like the foothills off the northeast there are a handful of, well, one is just one first bright light that looks like fire moving down out of the hills, and then another one afterwards, you know, a little ways behind, and then another one after that. And that's still, you know, quite a ways away. But far in the distance, you see there's just 3 fires that are moving in this direction.
Like torchlight?
Much too big to be torchlight. That's the thing. For this distance, they would have to be quite large. They'd have to be probably, I think, the kind of fire you saw in town, like a burning building. 3 of those. They'd have to be about that big to be able to see them at this distance.
Right. I'm just gonna smack Yorick in the chest and be like, "What the fuck is that?"
He kind of shakes his head, you know, waking himself, or, you know, kind of snapping himself awake, opens his eyes. He's kind of he's over to one side. He had been leaning against the side of the dome, but has fallen over while he was sleeping. Kind of gets up, stands himself up real carefully. He looks up in the distance, still kind of groggy, rubs his eyes, looks again. Oh, so up in the Bellows there, where the little guys come from, there's a whole lot of them. Those spirits that are they're made out of fire. They are just fire. There's a hole. There's a thin spot up there that they come pouring through sometimes, and you got to give them a wide berth. Just don't go near them. And I mean, we're far enough that it's no issue for us. But you know, whatever they come across is going to go up in flames immediately. So if we come near them, if we see any, we just gotta make sure we keep some distance. Wester, you'd recognize he's talking about elementals of some kind, but from here they'd have to be just massive to be that big.
Jesus. All right, you sure they're not going to come down this way?
I mean, they may. I don't know. They don't look like they're don't look like they're looking for us or anything. They're just coming down out of the volcano. I mean, the Anger Brook, they're all over up there, so we just got to be careful when we get up that way. But we're far enough right now. I ain't concerned about it. Is that all you woke me up for?
Yes, that's all I woke you up for. Sorry, go back to sleep.
He murmurs something under his breath and kind of leans back over.
Did I catch
Did you what?
Did I catch what he said?
It probably wasn't words as much as it was just like a god fucking, you know, like just gibberish of cursing.
This sounds like a literal conversation between me and Leah before.
About the
Like,
fire elemental coming down.
crazy fire demons and replace it with like, hey, what if like the squirrels come in through the doggy door and they get dog food and then they come back after eating the dog
like
food?
That fucking, like that cat in the couch. I came to the doggy door.
Fuck.
All right, I'm going to, for the rest of my shift, just kind of like half keep an eye on the elementals, make sure they don't get too close, and study those rods. I want to see if I can figure out what they do.
Okay. You watching them, like just kind of looking up looking down at the rods and then look up, every 10 seconds or something. You see they eventually go back out of sight, and you can't quite tell at first because you know how if you're looking at a light in the far distance, everything around it you can't see until like if you look away from it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So once they're gone, it takes a second for your vision to adjust, and you can see that there's another, just the back end of another mountain, essentially, but another bit of the mountain. It seems like they've gone behind that, so you no longer see them in the distance anymore. You still look up every once in a while, seeing if they come back out. You don't see them again throughout the rest of your shift. The rods themselves, give me an investigation check.
Not terrible.
Hey. Two of the three of them, you find a small, like basically as you're looking over these, you have to catch the light just perfect. You're just using the starlight above and the moon's chorus specifically in the blue light, trying to find, just follow these little intricate lines that look like they should be carvings. And eventually you find where they come around on two of them, come around in a circle, like a perfect little circle. But you just have to like kind of keep tilting it and following this line the way you would if it was one of those puzzles that the little steel balls roll around in. You keep having to follow it and tilt this to keep seeing the line until you find those circles. And both of them on the two of the three. The third one you did not find such a button, but on the first two you see like a circle, a perfect circle on them.
All right. I have no idea if this is going to do anything, so I'm going to walk just a little bit away and press the button.
In case it's fucking dynamite.
Yes.
All right. Then you get up, walk a little way from the camp, carrying all three of them. You put one in your pocket, the one that you didn't find the button on, and standing out there in the out by yourself, out in the chorus moonlight, you press the button. Mm-hmm. And when you press the button where your thumb should have pushed this metal rod, it should have pushed it away just from the pressure of your thumb touching it, right? Your thumb touches it and it feels like just solid. It feels like stone all of a sudden. And then you go to kind of move it and it's just stuck. You can't move it. You have to like yank your hand away. It is such a strange reaction. It is floating there in midair, not moving. It's just stuck.
Awesome. All right, so I'm gonna grab it and press the button again and see if it moves.
You press the button again and it falls to the ground.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, and the other one, the third one, doesn't have anything like that on it?
You didn't find one on it. It doesn't mean there isn't one. It's very difficult to follow those lines on it because they're super faint and you're literally having to tilt it to follow each line. It's like a maze of these individual lines. So there may be a button on it you haven't found yet.
Awesome. Back in the bag and back to camp.
Okay. Then end of your shift comes. We'll just say that it was Yorick next and then Dross last. Because I don't think you guys specified yet. So you wake up Yorick. He stirs awake. He says, I don't know if my shift should even count. You woke me up in the middle of that. He's clearly grumpy. He's like, you should just take, give me another hour so that I get my full shift. That's fair, right? That's fair?
You can just wake me up during your shift. It's fine.
He just grumbles and he's standing up, kind of pushes off of his knee, stands himself up. It's pretty comfortable out here. If you want to, nap out here, that's fine too. You can have my spot. It's still warm.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll stay out.
He just stands up and kind of walks himself over to a tree and leans against the tree. And you see him grab his ankle and pull his, stretching his quads, trying to wake himself up a little bit. Not off to sleep then. I'll go ahead and roll that to see if you guys... All right. Then, as far all of you are asleep anyways, but eventually, a while later, there's a banging on the outside of the dome that Ryloth, Azra, and Drost are all awakened by. You look up, you see Yorick standing outside of the dome, and he's mouthing, like his mouth is moving, but he's clearly trying to be quiet, it seems like, but he's like trying to get your guys' attention to wake you up.
Let him in the door! Let him in the door!
He points at Drost and then makes a thumb gesture over his shoulder like it's your turn.
Oh. Alright. Fuck that! Lower your hands!
He flips you out. He flips out again. Just fuck you, go to sleep. Alright, Drost getting up.
Yeah, I'll go out and do watch.
Alright.
I'm
So
just gonna
he
sleep because if I go out, I'm gonna make the tent disappear. So I'm just gonna sleep
Yeah.
through the whole night.
Okay. Then you step outside. Then the air outside is nice and cool, as opposed to the kind of air-controlled temperature inside the dome. Yorick is already leaning down and laying against the back of it again, like he had been when you went to sleep the first time. And he'll be snoring within a matter of a minute. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me. Well, duh.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. That one's empty, so nothing there. Your shift goes by. By the time your shift ends, it's already like, well, let's see, it was so it'd be 7-ish, like 8 a.m. Sun's already well up. It's already starting to get like warm even, so you can kind of throw your cloak off a little bit. But the end of your shift comes. Morning is arrived for everyone. You can go ahead and apply your long rests and adjust your spells if you want to. Go ahead, Justin.
Ooh, how do we apply? Oh, just click the big button that says L rest, I bet.
Yep.
Boom. Look at that ease.
And I'll apply it for Justin as well. Or for
fuck. Now I gotta figure out what I might need for this.
What, Becky?
I'm going to give Drost one of the immovable rods.
Okay.
That
Did you recognize what they were? I figured you might have.
And I'm keeping the other one I found, and then I'm going to take the one that I couldn't find and give it to Azra and just be like, so I'm pretty sure this is like the other ones, but I can't find the button, so you're more than welcome to see if you can find it.
Okay.
And I only had 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it.
Fox, do you have any idea what she was describing? Oh, Fox is getting tea. Yeah, she's grabbing her tea, I think so. Ben, you know what that was, right?
Yeah, I think I know because she had told me from Critical Role one time. But either way, Drost is going to actually ask her, "What is this?" Because he wouldn't. I'm sure he was asleep or doing his watch when she was fucking with those. So I'm actually going to ask her what they are. What are those, Wester? What is this?
So you push the button, and the rod literally will not move once you push that button. It doesn't matter where it is, middle of the air, it'll stay there. You
don't see a button on there, Drost?
I pointed out to him.
You can point it out to him, but he doesn't see. Unless you take the light and shine it and find those those engraving, those runes on it, you can't see it. It's just you know where they are, so you can just push it every time. That's fine. But you literally have to poke it and show him the spot so that he'll know where it is.
I'll press it so he can actually see exactly what it does.
So you're pressing the button so he sees where the button is, so that this works, right? You got to use your fingers to find the right spot.
Yeah, it's perfectly smooth. There's nothing there. There was no visual representation unless you happen to shine it in starlight or moonlight to see the lines on it. And then
otherwise, this spot is probably traditionally very hard to find.
That's the idea. Yeah. So if you know where it is, it's perfectly fine, and you can hit it every time. If you don't know where it is, it's just a signal spot.
I'm talking about a vagina, and Jeremy just keeps talking.
Right over my head. How did I not get the joke that time? I always get the double. I always get this fucking double entendre every time.
I was trying to figure out how I could be any more blunt about it. I couldn't stop laughing anymore. So
Woo! I get to be dense every once in a while. Can't be a super genius every moment of every day. That's not fair.
I mean, honestly, it just is better that it sometimes slips past you.
It's more enjoyable for everybody, right?
That made a tear in my eye.
Back to you again.
Sorry, that's the pogo coming out there.
It was a joke you wouldn't have liked anyways, Fox. It's fine. Yeah. It was a sexual innuendo joke that went over my head somehow.
But yes, I will show him where the button is and show him exactly what the rod does.
Okay. All right, then. Yeah. So both of you know where those buttons are. Then Fox Westra has given Azra another of these rods. Saying that she can't find the button on this one, but do you show her how they work?
Yeah, I'm assuming she's standing there with us when I show Drost.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so then in that case, Azra sees Westra press this button and then just lets go, and this rod is about a foot long and maybe an inch or so in diameter, just floating in midair, just floats there. And she then grabs it with her hand and tries to push on it, and it doesn't move. It just floating there, so much so that you literally she could do pull-ups off of it, and it would still stay put.
Okay.
But she hands you another one, saying that she can't find the button to make this one work. So if you can find it, it's yours.
Okay, I'll try and find it then.
Give me an Arcana check, Ezra.
Okay.
Looking it over. What's that?
Keep double clicking because I'm used to double clicking.
Me too.
Twice,
yeah.
And it's just okay, stop double clicking.
Yeah, Justin did the same thing for a bit. You can't see it. You can't tell she described these lines that she was using in the starlight last night from Chorus and the Moon, but you can't see those lines during the day. It seems like.
Okay, I'll save it for later and try it tomorrow.
Okay. Then you guys have those. By the way, Westra, there was a box of about a dozen of them, and you only took 3. So just imagine what you could have done if you had just stolen the whole box. It was heavy, so kind of, see how much you were going to try to, how much time you were going to spend on that. Mitch, had you taken too long, the guards would have shown up then too. By the way, but you guys
That's
ran
what I
upstairs.
figured. So.
Anyway, so you got 3, which you can still do a shit ton with 3 metal or 3 immovable rods. Justin, you know what those are?
Yeah, they're rods that do not move. So you
Yeah.
can like put it on top of someone to hold them down, for example, or something.
You can do that. With 3, you can essentially make, like, you could climb up open air. You can make a ladder through the air. So that stuff like that. Anyways, so you have those at least, assuming you can find where the button is for the 3rd. But morning has come. Yorick is yawning and grumbling to himself. You still want me to ride that big old beast again?
Do you have
Well, you can either ride the big beast or you can ride with one of us.
I mean,
We only have 4 horses.
Yeah, one of your guys would be fine. That one kind of, his thighs hurt a little. He's kind of sheepishly saying this. She's a draft. Her back is really wide. Like a draft horse has a really wide back, so it's a pretty awkward ride for riding for 8 hours.
Side saddle like the pretty lady.
He squints at you.
I'm gonna jump on the horse all side saddle. See, it's comfortable. It's just, they lean back and yeah, it's nice.
He kind of leans over towards Westra. To be honest, it's not really the horse. He smells real bad.
Ah, I've got the turnip fight.
It's fine. Just get on the damn horse. Just let him ride my horse with me.
He hops up behind you.
Ryloth would like to go and take a look to see if there's any commotion, like in the general area, more like by the trail that we were coming by, to see if anything.
Go back up on the road and look back towards the north side.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
both directions, just to see if anything looks out of the ordinary, if there's any guards or obvious things that are different from the evening before.
Okay. You try to kind of carefully make your way back up to the road to see if, looking either direction, see if maybe anything stands out. There's a wagon that is far down to the east. Basically, the road curves around to the east and then goes south along the coastline towards Mist. And there's a wagon on the road, looks like a merchant's wagon, like a caravan. But it's big and it's moving along the road, but it's moving at a snail's pace. Doesn't appear to be, in a hurry. Certainly doesn't appear to be pretty
or towards us.
Towards you, but just following the main road.
Okay.
It looks. It's a big merchant that's could be heading for Knotside, could be heading for any of the towns in the area.
All right, guys. It looks like a merchant coming the road towards us, but he's a bit farther away. The people that that sell this stuff, what were they, goblins? What'd you say they were?
No, they're not goblins. They're lizards of some kind, little red lizards.
Okay, little red lizards.
They're angry little bastards, and they're quick to anger. Like they'll.
That's not them, right? They're not going to be on the road this far up.
Oh no, you probably won't find them out in the open.
Well, we should probably just keep our heads down, and we'll be all right, I suppose.
Yeah, sounds good to me. We've still got a half a day's ride, so I'm ready to get going if you all are.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you saddle up the horses, hop on, and no, you don't even get back on the road because the road is going to curve south again, and you need to go northeast. So you're mostly riding through kind of open plains with the occasional copses of trees and so on. It is pretty rocky out here, so you're kind of having to guide the horses around certain areas where you don't want your horses snapping a hoof on stone and breaking a calf or breaking an ankle or something. So you keep kind of having to dive around those for a little ways, making your way out to the northeast. You do see occasional bursts of just plumage of these big like mushroom clouds coming out of. You can see Angerbrook from here, the volcano, and you see these big kind of puffs of steam and smoke coming out of it. Not lava, not fire, but you can see kind of illuminated smoke puffing up out of it. The volcano has been active for some time, many years now. It isn't, it's not going to hurt anybody, but those would clearly be noxious fumes. But certainly is a sight to see since you're running, basically directly towards it, making your way to the foothills. Throughout the day, you guys doing anything else on horseback, or just making good, trying to make good pace, trying to get there?
I'm gonna ask York. So where exactly are we meeting these guys? What are we doing?
Well, we've got to make our way up to the Bellows Falls. That's where the bridge is. The little ones are always hanging out there. They usually have a wagon ready for us. We bring back the empty wagon. They give us a full one. We make our way back down. But as far as where the hideout is, And he says that with some emphasis, and clearly you guys have already not believed that there's even really a hideout there. But as far as where the hideout is, it's across the bridge. It's real dangerous up there, but you get across the bridge, and then you make your way up there. There's a little kind of a bar, and that's where we're heading.
I'm gonna suspiciously ask him, what kind of hideout is this? Is it like a cave? Some kind of spell?
It's in the cracks at the base of Angerbrook, and there's just this little wooden hut, kind of a tavern of sorts. That's where my men and I hang out when we come up this way. Usually we are accompanied by them little red bastards, and they're not always super nice, so we try to minimize the amount of time we got to spend there with them. But sometimes if the casks aren't ready and we get there too soon, then we have to wait there for a day or so until they get the wagons filled up, and then we make our way back.
Your men don't drink the Red Claw, do they?
Oh no, vastly prohibited. Jory did it once, and he went crazy. Started a fight, and we ended up having to push him off the side, and he fell into the falls. So,
Yeah.
Maybe try a rope next time.
Why not find something safer to pedal?
we honestly we were kind of reaching the end of our agreement with them, anyways. I didn't think that this could go on much longer.
You don't give a shit about these little red things, right? These little lizards. Like, if we run into problems, you're not going to try to heal them the whole time, are you?
No, I would be happy to see them put out of their misery.
Well, I don't even care about killing them either. I just, I don't want any more trouble. I mean, this has been already more of an ordeal than I thought it was going to be.
No, if it comes to it, though, no, I'll happily put a few of them down.
All right,
Look at it this way. If we kill all the little red lizards, maybe we won't have to worry about hanging at the end of a rope.
Well, I'm hoping. I'm hoping we didn't hurt anybody back in town, and I'm crossing my fingers that if we deal with this problem,
I've got an idea. What if here's an idea too. Maybe we could convince them that it was those things that were bringing it in, and you didn't even have anything to do about it. Maybe we can bring that story back to town.
Well, Callias has seen my face bringing them into town, so he already knows. It's too late for that.
Oh.
But if we deal with the source, that was what they were asking for anyway, right? So if we deal with that problem and stop it coming in, we didn't hurt anybody on the way out. Maybe I can commute my sentence to, some time behind bars instead of in a grave.
Yeah, we're saying.
Here.
Hopefully, yeah.
I wouldn't mind spending a few nights in jail. I just don't want to die for it.
Here.
I don't want to do any of those things. So.
Well, it's a lesser evil. At least if I gotta sleep on a cot and get free food for a couple days, better than having to die at the end of all that. So.
Exactly.
All right, then you guys continue on your way, making your way out towards to the base. It's called the Cracks, but basically where the base of the the foothills of the Bellows are, out to a place called Bellows Falls. This is where Yorick had described to you. You would be heading to where the bridge is. There is always, as he had said it, there's always a little one there that they meet and they give a wagon from. So I'm going to go ahead and move over to this map, guys. This map I did a test on. It's basically it's not set up the way that a normal map is, and I'm not sure how this is going to affect performance. So Ben, actually you're on the desktop. I think you'll be okay. Let me know how this looks for you guys. I preloaded it, so everybody should move over quick. Okay, cool. Everybody's on it. Let me try this.
Ooh, how'd you do the moving lava?
So that's a thing called parallaxia. I'll show you how to do that, Justin. But it's
we talked about that.
Yeah. So can everybody see that? Did that work for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just had to move the map a bit because I was at that corner of the map.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, same here.
All right. So I wasn't sure who you guys were going to have with you this time, so I didn't have Yorick on the map yet because I wasn't sure if you would have Callias or Yorick or anybody. So I just put Yorick on here, but we'll just we'll say that he's on the horse or on the horse with Wester.
Hey, Yorick, how much farther past here is your place of residence?
Well, we just got to get across this bridge, but don't go near the bridge yet. Just hold tight because those little guys get angry.
We need to tie these. I don't know. We got to tie these horses up though. I don't want them fucking burning up.
Yeah. Yeah, so but what do you want to do with them? Because it's real dangerous up here. And Westra, remember them things we saw last night?
Yeah.
So they come up out of there, and he kind of looks down towards the where you see this glow coming from the lava down below. They'll come up out of there, and if there's something up here that they can, catch fire to, they'll do it. So we've got to, if you want to keep these horses alive.
How far back would we have to go to tie up the horses in safety?
Tell you what, we'll say that he told you guys this, far enough ahead of this, so that you guys could have tied them up earlier if you wanted to, so that you would be right next to the lava river here. It is like stifling hot here, by the way. So you guys, Fahrenheit. So Fox, do whatever math you need to for your silly made up numbers out there. But in Fahrenheit, let's say that it's about 105-ish right here, and you are getting it like it's going to be much hotter the closer you get, like to the point.
At least it's a dry heat. Am I right?
It's dry up here at least. You go down that cliff there, it won't be so dry.
Ah.
Okay,
All
so
right.
what
Yeah,
was
we
it,
would have
Fahrenheit?
tied the horses.
Okay. You didn't get my joke, Fox?
I kind of did, but what was it Fahrenheit so I could actually make the conversion?
105.
Yeah, about 105 here.
Okay, because it's not made up numbers; it's just a different temperature. It's like
No, it's Celsius is so much more of an accurate number, anyways. It's just silly Americanisms that we use that in,
okay, so it's about
standard.
40.6 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, made up.
That just
That
seems
doesn't sound real at all.
0.6. What is that? Damn
Yeah, I'm
geometry.
gonna hop you guys off the horses then, and we'll just say that you guys tied up your horses, sit back safely. There you go. All right, so you guys are near. We'll say that you tied them up and kind of made your way back towards this bridge area here. Yorick says, "All right, so we need to go real slow, but one of them little guys will be up there around the left," and he points up to the cliffs to the left there before the bridge.
Are these people? Are these things reasonable? Can we just talk to them?
Yeah, to a limited extent, yeah. To be honest, I don't know that they won't let you through without me. That's for sure. But as far as whether they'll, let us through when I'm not bringing them a wagon, I'm afraid I don't know.
Well, go explain to them that you ran into some trouble and see how far we get. What do you guys think?
I say
Yeah.
just go over the bridge with Yorick in front and just prepare in case we need to take some little red creatures out.
I feel like the bridge is a dangerous spot. I don't know if I want to be on the bridge when these things start to be pissed off.
It is pretty damn rickety. We got to be real careful, and there's usually more of them on the other side. They're real good at hiding, so they're watching us right now for sure. Just even if you don't see them, just keep that in mind.
All right. Well, you're used to dealing with them, so this is your deal.
Yeah, I'll come talk with you.
All right, let's up this way then, old man. Oh shit! I forgot to put the walls back on this map. This is the test one I was telling you about, Ben. So I made a still one that doesn't have the animation there, in case this one didn't work because I wasn't sure that it would. But I forgot to put the walls back on this one, so just don't go jumping down into the lava.
Okay.
That'd be dumb. But up around the corner, Ryloth, you see a very small, probably about 2.5, 3 feet tall figure that is robed, and the cowl is pulled up over its face to the point that you can't see it. You can't see any face in there. It's just a kind of darkness behind it, and it's standing there, looks up in the direction of Yorick, and it taps a stick on the ground. What are you doing here? We weren't expecting you. And he stops and looks down at it. We had some trouble. We sold everything, but I need to get some supplies out of the cauldron up north, and then once it's done, I'll come back and we'll get another wagon load.
Yeah, trouble is a understatement, my friend. I apologize, but the law was
Who are you?
real pain in the ass. I'm a business associate back from the city with him, and I'll tell you, we had one hell of a time getting out of that city, okay? We gotta take a second until we can keep selling that stuff that you have, making you some money.
There's no visual response because you can't see his facial features or anything. He turns towards Yorick. I don't recognize him. He with you? Yorick kind of turns and looks at you. Yeah, he's a new associate. Give me a persuasion check on Ryloth.
Drost is hiding behind that rock.
Okay.
And I'm keeping an eye across the bridge since he said there was more.
Okay. Give me a perception check on Westra, and G, I'm going to roll a stealth check for you.
Thank you.
You got a 16.
Yeah.
It's weird. If I roll it from your sheet in pop out, it doesn't actually roll the dice. It just puts the number in the chat. All right. There it is. Okay. Perception. Through the smoke and the haze, there's this kind of heat on a road, like where you see the haze of what I'm talking about, heat haze, right? Through the haze, directly above the lava, flying around the bridge area, you see small figure, like they're really difficult to pick out because of the kind of haze that's surrounding them. But there's these two small figures that are flying above the bridge, about 2.5, 3 feet in length.
I'm just gonna act like I don't see them and just kind of keep scanning.
Okay. The little figure looking at Ryloth. I don't recognize him. I don't like him. He can't go. You can go. You can't go. And he points at Ryloth.
Come on, I'm just an old man. I'm in the same game that you guys are in.
He squints, and you see him turn around. And he just turns around and he's kind of like looks like he's rifling through these. The robe he's wearing is like human sized and he's very small. So there's just like the sleeves are just hanging off the end of what his hands would probably be. But he turns around and is rifling inside the pockets of this robe. Turns around and he's holding a bottle and he flings it at you. Drink that, or you can't go.
What is it?
You grab the bottle. Looking at it, it's got that label that I showed you guys last week right on it.
Oh, the Red Claw?
Red Claw. Yep. If I can find it again. Where did I put it? There it is.
Let's see.
Red Claw.
Gets you drunk.
It'll get you drunk.
Listen. I'm a person, and I know exactly what this does to people, and I don't want to drink this. Why do I have to drink this to prove something to you? What are you going to get out of it?
All right, give me another persuasion check.
All right.
Normally I wouldn't dogpile, but I think that's a fair argument. I did not do the seams very good in that lava. You can see all the squares around it.
Oh, but at the same time, though, the squares, I think they're just supposed to be they're the normal squares that are on the grid. Yeah.
You guys don't see the seams in the texture?
I'm zoomed out a bit, so I can't really see.
I
but it looks good
see
from
a little bit of it, but mostly it just blends in with the grid seams.
Nice. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I wasn't even sure that it would actually work as well as it does. It actually looks pretty good to me, at least.
Yeah, it's fine. Especially because a lot of the times, like, I'm not looking at the map. I'm looking at like my sheet and stuff like that too.
Yeah. He it sounds like a male you'd probably guess anyways, but he makes a dismissive kind of wave, and you see the sleeve just kind of flap because there's no hand inside of it as far as the length of it anyways. Fine, you can go, but just if you cause any trouble, they're not going to be happy with you. They're going to throw you down in the pit. You know what the price is if you betray us. And he points at York. York just nods. Yeah, we'll be fine. They're not going to hurt anybody. And York stops and starts to turn back this way. And he stops right there. He does not see Drost. His perception's too low. Passive, he's not looking for you. But he stops about here, actually. And to Westra, he says, they're going to attack us as soon as we get across the bridge.
Yeah, there's also two floating above the bridge. We may not even make it all the way across.
He looks kind of carefully, like as if he's not actually looking for them, but he looks in their direction. He says, I don't see him, so you're just going to have to point him out, but there's going to be more on the other side. So, we've got to get across. So you just, you say the word.
All right. Let's.
And I'm gonna real quick before we cross. Actually, darn it, I closed my dumb character sheet because I didn't think I'd need it.
I know Azura has like long range weapons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just kind of walk up to her and just as not noticeably as I can, just kind of point out where they are. and
Okay.
let her know what's going on.
Okay, I'll get ready then.
And
We going?
Ryloth, if I look at the bridge, how sturdy does it look? Like, how do I
It's-
think we could all run across this without it collapsing, or is it going to be like?
Well, there's a small amount of space between the slats, so running, if you weren't careful, would be a bad idea because you could just face plant. But there aren't, so the gaps in the bridge on the map, they're not quite that big. The slats are, there's only a matter of an inch or two between the slats, and there are slats the whole way across. It's not broken, doesn't looks to be broken there, but it is just a rope bridge. So if something were to cut it, for example, anything like that, then it would fall quickly. Apart from that, it just doesn't look like it's it could handle the weight of you guys crossing and so on. Just it doesn't look like it's durable, is how I would say that.
Okay.
Looks like it's been repaired a lot.
I am just gonna start running across or walking across.
Okay. I'll follow behind you, old man.
I'll go behind Yorick.
Oh.
You're fine. I'm not going to assume that you just jumped in. All right. Stop there. As soon as you get about halfway through, so the spot right in front of Yorick, right there. As soon as you get about right there, something clocks you in the side of the head, and you look up, and it's just you see floating above you in the haze. There is a small red draconic figure that is throwing rocks at you. It wasn't enough to even really hurt you. It was just like a pebble that hit you in the side of the head.
Hey,
But as soon as
we're okay to cross. We just talked to a friend over there.
from behind, you hear a draconic shout of some kind. Does anybody speak draconic? I don't think you guys do.
Oh, I
I
might.
don't think
No.
so. Hang on.
I speak a few languages here, let's say. I do speak Draconic.
Do you? Okay. It shouts, interposers, they're lying, get them. And then if you see, if you look back that way,
They think we're lying! Fuck these guys!
the little guy, the little robed guy, trips over his robes because it's too long, and comes running past. He's actually pretty near Drost, who was hidden around the corner there. Azra, were you staying over by those rocks there? Is that where you were?
Yeah, I was over there. I was gonna put. Okay, well, I guess they ran across the bridge. Yeah, so that's fine.
Life's too short to plan!
I'm not gonna do what I was gonna do. No, it's because I was gonna cast comprehend language as a ritual to try and see, but if you guys ran it, I would have done it.
You don't. Yeah, you wouldn't have had time at this point
Start
because that would take 10 minutes.
And then it's like, come on! Just start running around.
So the plink that hits you in the head, and then the little guy shouts that. The two that are flying above are they're kobolds. They're flying kobolds that are up in the air above you. There are initiative rolls. Go ahead and give me initiative, everybody. I gotta get Maestro working for the automatic combat thing. I had it working before, but I think when I used better rolls, I think it broke it.
So do we have to put ourselves in the thing?
Well, yeah. So right-click yourself,
Oh, that's right. And then you just choose
and then you hit the toggle combat state in the bottom right corner. And remember, you guys can bring up the party window if you want to too, so that you can see everybody else's hit points and everything. If you needed to, you don't necessarily need it.
What is Maru's modifier?
He has his own. So if you right-click him, you should be able to put him in the combat tracker as well, and then you'd be able to roll it from him, and it'll automatically use his stats. There you go.
Nice.
Here, I'll roll it. There you go. All right. So we will hit the begin combat. So Azra, you are first.
Oh, you have to do draw.
Oh yeah.
Sadly, because my alt put me back page, but it's not letting me choose my name to rejoin.
What do you mean?
Okay. You know how in Foundry you choose the name to be able to get select player to go in. I'm at the game session, but my name's grayed out and I can't hit it. It's still seeing me as inside.
Yeah, it still thinks you're logged in. Try refreshing again, see if it brings you back. Turn the music down a little bit. There we go.
I had to X out of my character sheet. So I popped it out. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, now you're not in here anymore, so when you log back in, it should let you pick it.
That's the only problem with my push-to-talk key.
Is it one of the hotkeys as well?
Yeah, and I don't know how to remove the hotkey or change the hotkeys because it's Alt, and then like while clicking will bring me back page.
Yeah, those are both like universal hotkeys, so I'm not sure. Like I use left alt as well for my push to talk normally, but you know, when I use push to talk anyways. But yeah, I don't know if there's a way to change that for Firefox
Yeah, I'll have
or Foundry for that matter. All right, you are back in, and you are first. Oh, hang on, sorry, Drost was ahead of you. It is your turn, G. So you are right there around the corner, and the little guy did not see you. He is 10 feet to the 15 feet to the right of you.
Oh, there he is. I can barely even see him on the,
Yeah, he's
on the map
tiny.
right there. Okay. All right, I am going to, again, moving quietly, tiptoe over this way.
Okay.
And I'm going to, if I can, sneak attack and stab him with my dread knife.
Okay. He does not know you're there, so you will get sneak attack.
Okay.
But I don't know, since I don't have your macros for sneak attack and everything. Can you can't get your character sheet, but do you still have your hotbar? Does your hotbar
Yeah.
work?
Uh-huh.
So try.
I still have it down there.
Okay. Hit sneak attack and see. We'll see if it's on or not. So I think it's number 0, if I remember right. You just hit
Okay.
0 on the keyboard.
When I hit it, it said there was error. The little Foundry message popped up and said there was an error, so I don't know if it went through.
Did you click it or did you press 0 on the keyboard?
I clicked it.
Try pressing 0 on the keyboard and see if anything happens.
I think when
Same
I had,
thing. Error in the
I-
macro syntax.
Okay.
yeah, and also when I had a similar issue long time ago on here, it just wasn't linking to the character sheet correctly.
Yeah, and he can't use his character sheet right now, so it's no surprise that it doesn't work. But yeah, that's okay. I can do it manually. All right, then you walking up behind him, you know, keep trying to carefully step through the ash that's settling on the ground here. You just rush up behind him, and as soon as you get close, just jab your Drin knife up through this kind of amorphous section of small robe that's down. You know, you have to kneel down to do this because he's only 2.5 feet off the ground. To make your attack here, natural 20. So which Jesus, yeah. So with a Drin knife and sneak attack, so it's you actually rolled max. No, sorry, the crit was 10. Okay, so yeah, no, you did roll max. So you rolled max for the regular hit, and then I have to roll the 3d6 and then double those two because of sneak attack. I should just roll all your rolls for you because I'm gonna roll a better than you, RG.
Yeah.
And the extra dice from the Drin knife too. He's dead.
Oh shit, yeah, for the crit, huh?
Mhm.
All right, Drin knife is an extra 10 piercing damage on top of that. Then you're
Okay.
but it is 26 damage for the initial crit, and then 28 damage for the sneak attack on top of it. So I don't remember how many HPs he's got, but I don't think it's that much. He only had 27. So and it sucks because this guy like had a bunch of cool things he was going to do too. So the little robe guy, he as he's moving towards the bridge there, had pulled out. You see him just as you looking over his shoulder because he's so small. You see him holding what is obviously a spell book of some kind in one hand. And then you just jab the knife up through him. You see it kind of stick out through his chest, and he looks down. It's just this kind of like a liquidish, greenish blood dripping off of your knife. You see that the head of the rope kind of look down towards it, tries to look up in your direction, but the robe is covering its face, like the cowl is covering it, so he can't see you at all. And he kind of begins to just stumble forward, trying to get off of the knife. You just yank it free. He falls forward into a pool. The ash the blood beginning to spill into the ash. The spellbook is still under one hand that you can now see that the robe has come back, and there's a red clawed hand sitting on top of the spellbook.
Okay.
Any bonus actions?
I'm going to actually
Jesus Christ!
just step back and hide exactly where I was before.
Then I'll roll your stealth again. Bonus action stealth
Yeah,
for cunning action. All right.
please. What was the total damage on that hit, Holmes?
Let me grab a calculator here.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I didn't.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, okay.
Totally
Did you
worth-
just
worth,
stop at a certain point? You're like, I'm not even going to keep going.
Well, he had 27. It's like I was pretty sure he didn't have enough for that to matter, so it was 54 total.
Nice.
Wow.
That was your second highest hit.
That's
Because
Yeah, we got like 70 the other day.
Yeah, you got 68, I think, on the
Okay.
in the alleys. Okay, so he is toast. But that brings it to Azra's turn.
Okay, he's dead, so I'm going.
You did see him drop a spell book, though, and spell books are like the most valuable possible thing to a wizard.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab that after.
'Kay. It might get blood and ashes all over it, but you go right ahead.
Well, okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna target. I don't know.
Through the haze, by the way, you guys start to see that there's there's movement on the other side of the bridge as well. They look like some boulders on the other side are moving.
So I'm gonna target this guy and use frostbite on him.
Okay. All right, frostbite. Within range. Yeah, it's just a beam of cold damage. Is that the one that slows them too?
I believe so.
Disadvantage on the next weapon attack. Okay, no, it's the Ray of Frost is the one I was thinking of. All right, so he has to make a DC 15 con save. He got a 10, so he does not successfully save. So he has the full disadvantage on his next attack roll. That is the first winged kobold of the two that is listed in there. Okay, and 11 damage to him.
Awesome. And then I'm gonna go grab that spell book and then hide again.
Okay. Oh shit! All right, so you standing off the edge of the bridge there, hold both hands out in his direction and send out this beam of frost in his direction. And as soon as it impacts him, you see ice crystals begin to form on his flapping wings, and they slow. The flapping slows and slows and slows until he starts to screech because he can't flap fast enough, and he starts to fall out of the air, turning off to one side, just plummeting over end, and splashes into the lava below. They don't have very many hit points. He had like 10 hit points and he did 11 damage. So.
Okay, awesome. And then I'm gonna go grab that spell book and then hide back where I was.
Okay, all right. So then you grab that and move backward. I forgot to put the starting spot. So Justin, remember when our game on Thursday, when I think it was Becca didn't know where she started from?
Sure.
This add-on has a thing where you can draw. This module has a thing where it'll put a little token where you started from, so you'll always know where.
Like
where
a
that
shadow
was.
token, so you know where.
Yeah,
it
drops like this little runic symbol on the spot, so that you know exactly where you started from, so you can always measure from. So I think you have this add-on already. I'll just show you where to turn that on, and I forgot to turn it on for this is all. Okay, is that it for Azra's turn then?
Yeah, that is it.
All right. Well, the dead winged kobold is just screaming in pain as he's being melted into the into the lava below. The other winged one that's up here, already seeing two of its compatriots getting attacked here, is going to fling a rock at the side of Ryloth's head. This time, like a sharp rock. For a 21. 21 will hit, right, Justin?
Yes, you will.
All right, for 8 damage as a
Why are you
sharp
throwing
precision-
rocks? Who throws rocks?
You were facing the other way originally, and just a tiny pebble smacked you in the left temple. You spin around and then had looked up and seen this guy there as Drost had just jabbed a knife through the back of the other kobold on the far side, and then a sharp one just pelts you right in the right temple, drawing blood pouring down the side of your face, kind of like the barmaid from the night previous. And you hear cackling, just gleeful cackling, as it's flapping its way around, and it moves away slightly up to about here, still facing you, just flapping its wings to back away a little bit. It is your turn, Ryloth.
Okay. I am just going to continue my pace up the bridge. If I can move. Oh, wait, I have myself targeted. That's why. There we go. 5, 10,
Oh,
15. Do I see anything different when I get to the other side of the...
So, yeah, actually, I would say that you would see it before you even got quite that close. Like one more square back.
Bloop.
Right there is fine. There are the motion that you saw on the far side that looked like boulders were moving are 4 more kobolds that were just on the other side, all brandishing shields and spears and so on. Small, rough, broken implements that are at the far side of the bridge that throw off these kind of ugly gray cloaks that were just covering themselves to make themselves look like rocks. They flung them off and all stand up and start to shout and scream and jump in place like they're about to attack.
Okay. I am going to cast Tidal Wave. Creature takes 48 bludgeoning damage, is knocked prone. Actually, do I want to do that? Or. damage is not prone. Second save creature damage is not prone. I thought Tidal Wave actually pushed them, which is what I thought was pretty cool, but it does not.
Mm.
Some of the spell names are just like so deceiving, right?
I know. Tidal Wave. Well, it does knock them down, but I could have sworn
Yeah, they push them away.
Or I listened to one of the what's that podcast called? Critical Role, to where it pushed people like against things, but maybe that was just something else. But anyways, I'm still going to cast Tidal Wave. I'm going to cast. It's a 30-foot long, 10-foot wide, 10 feet tall tidal wave, and I'm going to cast it basically coming from the north to the south to hit all 4 of these guys directly.
Well, there's 6 now. With that distance, you'll be able to get all 6 of them in there.
Well, so it's only 30 feet long, 10 feet wide.
Oh, 10 feet. Okay, all right. I was thinking 30 feet wide. Okay.
These 4 directly in front of me.
Okay.
So they... I'll target them. See how this works.
Well, you don't even need to target them. Just hit the spell, like you're going to cast it, and then it'll ask you if you want to drop a template, and just say yes. Just leave it checked, and then do it.
All right, so cast, and it did not give me a template option for that one. I know what you're talking about, how some of them do.
It's because it's not a persistent effect, yeah. Okay.
But if you want, you can see they have to hit a Dex save of
16 is the save. All right.
For all 4 of them.
That's cool. So I literally just highlighted all of them and then just clicked it once, and it automatically rolled all 4 of them and just rolled one by one.
And then the other 2 take half damage, I think.
Take 48 bludgeoning on a successful save. Creature takes half as much damage and is not knocked prone. All right. So from the top to the bottom, they are all. Well, the last one is the dragon shield, so that's okay. All right, and so the second one and the last one did not succeed. So these 2 will take full damage. Like I said, they don't have a whole lot for hit points, and that did 28 bludgeoning. Which one is this guy? Yeah, so they all right. You begin the summoning ritual, sending this wave of water, just arcane water that flows through, purple in origin, not blue even, that just splashes over them and begins falling off of the cliff on the far side, taking 2 of the kobolds with it, just spilling over the side and down into the lava below, just billowing up this massive cloud of smoke that just envelops the entire area. The second and fourth are completely toast by it from the 28 damage. The half damage might take care of one of the others as well, actually. Let's see. Half is this button. I'm still getting used to which of these buttons they are. Where's that fucking tooltip? Come on. Half damage. There it is. All right. So half damage to that one. That killed him.
And as a bonus action, I'm just going to scream and be like, if you leave now, you can save yourselves!
Well, 3 of them are washed away and pushed over the side. The one that's directly in front of you is the largest of them, is holding a shield and a like a big meaty cleaver in one hand. Is not killed by it. He'll be half as well. Yeah,
you better run!
He's still just shouting in like just gibberish in front of you, like he's about to attack you. So, any bonus actions?
Do you need me to lower my HP? My VTTA isn't showing a lowered HP, and I feel like I took a hit. No, it shows it on here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you have a little.
I was not looking at the right name.
Nice. All right, is that it for your turn?
Let's see. Bonus action. I got more movement, but
York is shouting. York is behind you. He shouts, "Get behind me!"
5, 10. Oh yeah, I have. Well, no, I don't think I can. I can get like in front of them.
Go ahead and move yourself if you're gonna.
I'm thinking. I have enough room to get around this guy.
Past him?
Past him? No, I'd have to take an opportunity attack on.
Well, if you were trying to leave his range, yes. If you just step around him, then he's small enough you could get through.
No, I'm actually gonna stay right where I'm at. I'm too scared to fall into the lava.
That's fair. I would do something like that for sure. So, all right, let's see. From the ones in the back, the ones that are still like difficult to see through the haze here. One of the ones in the back there points a hand in your direction and begins an enchantment that, as soon as it finishes, you see fires out 2 small balls of fire in your direction, and then you realize, with some amount of horror, that he wasn't aiming at you, and one ball of the fire lands on the rope right next to you, and one on the rope to the north of you, and begins burning through the ropes that are holding the bridge there. You then realize that this looks like new construction. This bridge looks too new to be out here. Like, if it was out here in the elements for any amount of time, the wood would probably be stained a little bit. The ropes wouldn't look so new. It looks like they rebuild this pretty regularly, and the firebolts land on the ropes. They only have 5 hit points. He rolled 9 damage. The ropes are burning through, and the bridge is about to, like, the ropes are about to snap.
Can I use a reaction to cast Featherfall on Westra, Yorick, and Rayloff?
Well, I think, just to be clear, by the way, where I'm standing, it looks like I'd be okay if this started to fall on the map, or would I have to be 1 step closer? Because I would have gone. You
would be able to potentially grab onto it, maybe, because you're near enough that you could maybe just grab onto the to the cliff part right there. It would just be a matter of a dex save. You're not in the middle, at least. But the bridge is about to separate, yeah.
So, just because this is just how I would have, if this was actually off the bridge area, I would have gone there. I just thought this was like on the dirt.
Yeah, you were just barely off the side of the cliff. So right there you would be. So you would step in within melee range of him.
Yeah, I would have stepped in within melee range of him, but I would have
stayed
at, I just would have wanted to get off. I wanted to get off the bridge.
Okay. Fox, I'm clicking Featherfall real quick to see, because it is a reaction, but I want to see if it has to be if it's happening to you that you use your reaction.
You know what sucks is I don't have counterspell right now. I almost had it.
You did change out your prepared spells, though?
I did. I had counterspell yesterday.
Yeah. 5 falling creatures within range. It is a reaction. It doesn't specify... I think that is fair, Fox. I think you would be allowed to. It's not really... Like, it doesn't specify that it has to be something happening to you that you use your reaction for. So I would say, yeah, that's okay that you could if you needed to.
Okay, so I'm going to use that, I guess.
Okay. It's up to 5 creatures, so who are you targeting?
Ryloth, Yorick, and Westra just on the bridge.
Okay. It is 5. You can put it on 2 more if you wanted to.
Okay, I'll put it on myself and Dross just in case, because
okay.
If Maru doesn't eat it, he can just fly.
Yeah, and it lasts for 1 minute, and it's not concentration, so you can just throw it up and still have it. So, all right, then the 5 of you each have Featherfall on you for 1 minute.
Which is cool, and we only have a slow thought of how we're going to drown in the lava.
You have time to make amends before you land in the lava. Okay, all right, that is for Azra's reaction, of course, but the sorcerer, any bonus actions for him? Let's see. This is what happens because you guys killed my other cool wizard, so he does not have any reactions I want to use. All right, it is the Dragon Shield's turn, so you are now within melee range of him. You step toward him. You feel your feet get a little bit lighter just as he raises his this cleaver up to getting ready to smack you with it. About knee height because he's just not very tall. I guess it's a spear. This listed as a spear, and it should change the art on it. So let's see, he's got pack tactics, but everybody else got washed away while he knelt down. So it's just the multi-attack, and what does Heart of the Dragon do? All right, so that won't matter in this case, and his resistance. Okay, well, he's got resistance to fire damage, so you guys accidentally know that. So he is going to smack you with his cleaver for a 6. Is that hit? All right, second attempt. For a 13. Is 13 hit?
Oh, this is special! I'm invincible!
Your feet feeling lighter as you kind of step towards him. He goes, smashing the cleaver down, trying to just cleave through your calf and into your foot, and you just kind of dance out of the way very nimbly for such an old man. He spins around and tries to do kind of a sideways swipe, like a sweep the leg kind of a thing, and you just jump up in the air and it goes beneath your feet. You land back onto the dirt in the ash.
Jump up in the air. Ha ha! Nimble! I do Pilates!
He just shrieks angrily at you. It is Westra's turn. The bridge is about to collapse.
Right. So I'm going to make sure that I have that immovable rod in my hand.
Okay.
So I'm putting Hugh like on my hip.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh shit. Why won't you move? Sorry, I'm lagging here.
No problem. I can move for you if you need me to.
Yeah, you might have to. So I'm running across the bridge, and as I'm going, I'm grabbing a hold of York. So I have a hold of him, so if the bridge falls, I can hold on to him and the rod at the same time.
This is some action movie shit. This is fucking cliffhanger right here. Okay.
I'm just waiting for them to fall, and then her just like trying to hold on to this fucking bar.
Well, keep in mind too, like you're standing above lava and it's very smooth metal, and your hands are going to get sweaty because it's so hot.
Yeah, I'm
Just,
trying to
like,
make it a
fingers just slipping up. It's still a badass idea. So.
like I'm dashing if I need to, if I can.
Go ahead, Fox.
Dragging him behind me.
As long as Fox, so yeah, no problem. Fox, as long as it's not cheating. So basically, if this is something that Azra knew you guys were going to the volcano, so if it's something that you knew you would have taken, then go right ahead with that knowledge.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I forgot to change this out. And I'm looking at my spell list. I'm like, where is it? I'm like, it's not prepared. No.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. Then for Westra, if it will let you, Becky, go ahead and make a. It's not really anything that it could be. I guess maybe acrobatics. So go ahead and make an acrobatics check.
Okay, oh, there it let me move, so.
Okay. So you're trying to get up like by Ryloth, like right on the other side, right?
Yeah, and I'm grabbing him as I'm running, telling him to get the fuck off the bridge.
Okay.
And I have to run again. So
He's not resisting. He's trying to go along with you. And if you had tried to carry him, obviously you'd be at half speed, but you're just pushing him along. So I'll say that he's able to move along with you. It would technically be on his turn, but we'll just say that his movement is already spent when it comes to his turn for simplicity's sake. So you push him in front of you with that acrobatics. So the bridge is literally going to snap like during your turn here. So you make it about halfway because it was this is when the time comes up on the combat tracker. So you make it about to here. When the rope gives way out from under you, you've pushed Yorick. He comes stumbling across the other side of it. You immediately grab the immovable rod, lift your arm just as straight up in the air as high as you can, and click the button. As soon as you do, the rope snaps from underneath you, and you are already just from momentum swinging along, using the momentum of the swing with the rod and fling across, hopefully towards the other side. Give me a flat dex check. Sorry, dex save, rather.
Okay. Since I'm flinging myself across, could I have, clicked the button as I went to take the rod with me, or do I have to leave the rod there?
No, your hand's still on it. I would imagine you would click it again to take it off with you.
Okay, so, all right.
Did I describe that well enough? You were basically using it for momentum and just using it as if you were grabbing on an existing rod or something, and then using your momentum to fly to the other side. Save is on the right side, so if you go to your sheet, dex would be the right side. Plus, yeah. Okay, so you fling to the other side. The bridge is collapsing beneath you. You see the slats of wood just smack against the side of the cliff. While you have the rod in one hand, your left hand free after having pushed Yorick, beginning to fall down the side of the cliff. Grasp onto the side of it. You're about 5 feet down from the edge, holding on to the wooden slat of the bridge, the one that had been the foot of the bridge that you're now holding on to, and then with your left hand and the rod in your right hand, hanging off the side of the cliff.
Right. Well, that's my turn.
All right. It is Maru's turn.
Gonna hang on.
This music isn't quite tense enough.
Sorry, he's just gonna stay around me for now.
Okay. Then it is, he's a dead kobold, so it's not his turn. It is Dross' turn. You saw Westra about to fall as the bridge collapsed underneath her. She swings off of an immovable rod in the air and then grabs onto the far side. What are you doing, G?
Okay. Let's see. The only one that I see is on the other side of the chasm over there, right? Flying up in the air.
Yeah.
To the north of the bridge.
No, you hear fighting coming from the other side, so you know that there are more over there. You just can't see them through the haze.
Okay.
But you see one that is flying above the lava that flung a rock at Ryloth just a bit ago, and then the bridge is broken in the middle. If you, well, I don't know if it's working for you, you can click the second thing. It looks like an L. It'll say measurement controls.
Okay, on me or him?
No, on your toolbar on the left.
Top left.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, it creates a circle too.
Yeah, you can draw whatever size you want or whatever kind you
You
want.
are
Like a
42.5 feet, or in Canadian, it is 13.5 meters. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm going to see if I can throw a knife at the one that is floating up over the chasm over there. I'm guessing he was the one that fireballed the dam bridge. So
Yeah. What's your range for your knives? Let me see.
Actually, I don't even know if I can look.
They are
60?
Yeah, because you are about 85.2 feet in American distance.
Okay.
You're just under 60, and 60 is the max range.
Oh.
So it'd be a
Crap.
disadvantage, but you can throw it. You'll just be a disadvantage, and you also know you probably won't get that knife back.
Yeah, that one ain't coming back. I'm still going to give it a try, though.
Okay. All right, then you will try a throwing knife here. You're going to do sharpshooter. Well,
No,
Right.
not this time. Yeah.
okay. Well, you got an 11, so I'll need that roll. So I was going to ask you first, but I did an 11 beforehand before asking you, and his AC is 13, so it does not hit. You just fling, running towards the edge there, underhanded, like throwing a frisbee. Fling your wrist and toss a spinning knife end over end in his direction. You don't even see where it lands. It's just missed. It's just gone in the haze. Does not appear to have hit him. You gonna try again?
Yeah.
Also not sharpshooter then?
Yeah, just one more standard attempt.
I keep hitting the disadvantage thing on there. Well, it's a 9 anyway, so that also doesn't hit. Your throwing knives just are not lucky for you here in Foundry. They were always great in your guns for you. Getting fucking sharpshooter and sneak attack at range. But yeah, both of them just disappear into the haze somewhere. They might be on the other side as far as you know, but they're so small they'd probably just be buried in ash anyways. Any movement?
Just gonna take a step back. Not letting me click on myself for some reason. I'll do it when it's, I guess I'm lagging or something.
Oh,
Okay,
that
there we go.
doesn't
Okay.
work if you're not on the basic controls and select tokens. You can't move. Like if you're if you're on the select targets menu or something, it won't let you move.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you always have to have it. If you're going to try to click on yourself, then you need to be on the thing to clicking targets, which is called basic controls. It's the top one of the toolbar on the left.
There we go.
Okay. Ready for your turn then?
Yeah.
All right, then we come around to this remaining kobold in the back here. He is going to run forward, and he's going to try to shove Yorick here off the edge. So a contested strength roll on it would be a little gold. Let's see. Maybe I'll get lucky. Oh, that was a save. Hang on. We'll just use the same number, though. All right, 16. -2. They're both -2. So we got a 14 versus Yorick. Nope. He rushes towards Yorick and just both hands, he drops his spear, tries to just push into Yorick's knees, trying to push him back. Yorick just chuckles and pushes his forehead, knocks him backwards. Little red-skinned kobold. That is it for his turn. It is
You
Ezra's
need
turn.
better business partners, Yorick.
Okay. Do you see the range or something? Okay.
So real quick, just to confirm, Westro's just kind of hanging on the cliff, or is she
Yes,
just there
she's-
because she's holding onto the bar?
No, she unclicked the immovable rod, so she's just holding that in one hand and is
Got it.
hanging off the side of the bridge, like holding onto the bridge, action movie style.
I'm gonna move to here, and then I'm gonna use frostbite on this guy.
Okay. You can, if you were using those things to count the movement, there's easier ways to do that, but that's okay. All right, so there we go. All right, so you're going to do frostbite on this one. That's okay, I'll get rid of it. So if you click back on the movement thing, you'll see a little icon that looks like a starburst, and it's up by him. And then you can click that and then hit delete, and it'll disappear. I'll do it for you, but that's how you do it.
Oh, okay,
There you
got it. So yeah, I'm gonna hit him, and then I'm gonna move back to.
All right. All right, so you just re-rolled it, so he needs to make a DC 15 con save. He got a 12, so he's a -1 on his con save, or constitution. So, and you rolled 11 again, and he's got less HP than that. So, similarly, you just holding both hands out, emit this just beam of white and blue frost in his direction, and his wings begin to frost over, and he collapses and clinks. He bounces off the side of the cliff, and then just end over end, like head over heels, just flips and flips and flips until he lands into the lava and just screams until he begins to sink beneath the waves. It wouldn't be waves. The creek.
God,
flowing lava. It's not really waves.
The
Anything.
flow
It's
of lava?
molten.
I feel like
flow.
molten.
flow
Yeah.
would be say
It flows.
Yeah.
into the lava flow.
There we
It
go.
doesn't really have waves. I mean, that would be terrifying. But
All right. Any bonus actions, Fox?
Nope.
Alright.
The only time that there would be waves of magma is if it's actually if the volcano was actually erupting and it was like huge eruptions coming out. Then it would kind of look like waves, but it would like solidify as it was going. So it's
Yeah.
creepy. But
I feel like it looks at that point looks more like gravy rolling down a mound of mashed
Kind of.
potato.
Yeah. It's a bit too thick. Yeah. A bit viscous. All right. It's Ryloth's turn.
Well,
There
that
are
seemed
3
like
more
it
kobolds left.
worked pretty
one of
well.
them, one of them's your tidal wave wiped out 3 of them and washed them off the side. In fact, actually, they're not on them here anymore, so I'll get rid of them.
I'm actually gonna go ahead and on this one directly in front of me, I'm actually gonna also cast Frostbite on him.
Okay. He still looks pretty healthy. He's a little under half of his health. So, but frostbite. Go ahead. That also gives him disadvantage as long as you hit. So,
Yep, that's kind of what I want.
so he can't hit you. All right. Well, you rolled minimum on one of them, so it'll be low damage. But let's see if he makes a save. Oh, not with that. He got a 4 total for his save. He's got higher than the others, but all right. So still 5 damage to him, and he has a disadvantage when he tries to attack next. Any bonus action?
1d6 or 2? I don't think it shows on here.
You rolled 2, and it's a total of 5. So if you click the
on it, it shows you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It shows you what they were. So, any bonus actions? Any movement?
Uh,
You are like precariously on the edge.
I know.
Yeah. In fact, Wester is like down the cliff from you.
I'm
trying to
gonna
climb up.
try to move. Do I think if I go north, I know he'll get an attack, but if I go north, can I get around it? Or is it just a bunch of sticks and spears?
You feel like you could jump over the edge post there. Yeah. It's not very tall. You feel like you could just climb over it.
I'm going
Especially since your feet
to.
are a little bit light.
I'm going to take the attack that he's going to get. Oh, that's right. I just forgot my own thing about how I have to do this to move. And I'm gonna 5. Maybe not. Hold on. There it is. 5, 10, 15. Does this go up, or is this all fairly like? What am I seeing here? Is it like a hillside, or is it just?
No, it's pretty smooth. I mean, it's a little bit of a grade, but not too tall. It's just mostly you're just stepping into thick ash. You're like sinking. Your boots are sinking into the ash a little bit.
I'll be going right up here,
Okay.
and he gets to attack me.
With disadvantage. Does a 21 still hit?
That's it. Ah!
Well, he rolled minimum damage anyway, so it's a total of 2 as you are rushing away from him.
How will I recover?
He jabs you in the ankle as you're stepping in through the ash, and that is it for his reaction. Then any bonus actions over there?
Nope.
Okay. Then we are back to the sorcerer, who just jumps in place and screeches as you're running over toward him. Doesn't respond to that part, unless are you saying it in?
Draconic.
Okay. He tilts his head. Tilts his head awkwardly at you, like out of seeing you, speaking in what seems like a language he recognizes clearly, and then just opens his mouth and just spits a stream of poison in your direction. It is a DC 12 con save.
What a dick. Save.
You rolled shit. Like these guys are rolling awful for damage, and they have no hit points. So you guys are like not really taking too much here, but. Oh,
Not
not
great.
with that. All right.
Oh.
So you take 3 poison damage as he spits a stream of poison onto you, and then he shrieks and runs this way.
Out of curiosity, are you taking the damage off manually, or is it doing it automatically?
No, so with this add-on I use called Better Rolls, you just click on, like if I just click on you, you guys don't see this. I'll have to show it to you on the GM side. I tested this with Fox the other day, where the boxes that say damage, like this one says damage poison, it says 3. Yes. To the right of that, inside that box are a bunch of buttons. Yeah, and I just click on that, and it'll automatically apply the damage, or half damage, or healing.
It's really funny. I have that running. I just didn't realize I had to move my cursor over that other box.
Yeah. As soon as you mouse over it, you'd see it. But you have to have a target first, so you'd have to click it. Not a target, sorry, but select it. So if I just click on you first, and then click that, it'll apply the damage, or I can automatically apply half damage or whatever to a whole group of them, and apply saves, all that kind of stuff. Super handy. It's basically, it's just as handy as Fantasy Grounds was, but you still get the fun of like the manual interaction as opposed to every bit of it being automated. All right, that is it for his turn, though. Let's see, he only got 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, that's as far as he can get. It is the Dragon Shield's turn, who is similarly going to... Actually, that gets in the way. He's going to jump to the edge here, and using his spear, he's going to jab at Westra's hands. Westra's hand that is trying to hold on to the edge there. Saw you fall, so he's going to come over there and just try to poke at your fist with an 11. Does an 11 hit?
Oh.
Your AC's even not holding it because you're not holding your shield right now. So your AC's a 16, I think, right?
I believe so.
18 with the shield, if I remember right. Okay. All right. So he's poking at your hand, but he keeps jabbing into the wood. It's like the smoke is coming up, the steam coming up from below. Might be stinging his eyes, but he keeps missing and jabbing over and over again there.
His heart's just not really in it.
Yep. And so he's got multi-attack. His second attack was also an 11, so he still didn't make it.
Yeah, they are rolling really bad.
Yeah, they are. All right, it's Westra's turn. So you were hanging there from one hand with a kobold trying to poke your hands with a spear.
Okay. Now, is climbing up my action or my movement?
It's going to be double. So climbing in general is just half movement, so it takes twice the amount of movement to move the distance there. And in this case, it would not be an action specifically. You're 5 feet from the ledge, but he's right in your way too, so you'd have to move off to the left a little bit as well.
Nope, that's fine. So, oh no, because I'm still holding on to that. Yeah, so I will go up.
Do you want me to move you? Are you still lagging?
Let me see if it'll let me. Okay. So yeah, so I'm moving over to the left and going up.
Okay.
That way.
Okay, so you climb your way up over the edge there as he keeps trying to poke at you with the spear and keeps missing as you just duck and move out of the way until you climb up the side.
I won't let me turn. There we go. All right. And then I'm just going to put the rod away and I'm grabbing you.
Okay, free item interaction. So you reach down to a pocket and just immediately just shove the rod into the pocket and then reach, continue the motion, grab Hugh off of your back, bring it around to swing at him. It's so weird that your dice sometimes are like bright white and sometimes dark blue like that. 13 on him? I don't think that hits. No, his AC is a 15, so that does not hit.
Yeah, alright. Try again.
Okay. And an 18, that does hit. Minimum damage, but it does hit. You bring that down into the kind of thin, sinewy arm that was holding the axe in your direction, or holding the spear rather in your direction. He's still alive. Yeah, he's still doing okay. Bonus actions.
I don't think I have anything to use for a bonus action right now, so that is it.
All right. And
this guy is just keeping it together pretty well.
He was the toughest of them. The wizard that you guys that fucking drossed one shot, he and the wizard were the only two strong ones. All right, your turn, G. Your feet are still feeling light, and they will reduce your falling speed at an angle. I guess that's as much as I'll remind you there, since Azra put up what is it?
Featherfall.
Featherfall. There you go. Thanks.
Oh, cool.
And you have a rod. So.
Okay.
You feel like, well, yeah. Well, I mean, he knows that. I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to make him, forget that or anything. But
I'm going to Google how far can you jump with Featherfall on you. Let's see what comes up.
So it's not that. So all right. I don't keep in mind.
I know it's slow falling.
Yes. What I'm going to describe here Well, it's not even a matter of that. It's that you would fall at an angle is what you would do. If you had forward momentum, the momentum would continue, and you would just fall at a slower angle. So, I mean, even if you jump off of something and fall, you still fall at an angle. You still have your forward momentum. You're just falling faster than the difference is. And since the slowing would be slowed down, or the falling would be slowed down rather, you would fall at like a 45-degree angle if you ran and jumped.
Try grabbing onto the bridge on the other side.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
So the bridge, I'm going to tell you that the bridge, remember, it burned over here on this side. There is not very much of the bridge on the far side. There's only 10 feet of it down, and Wester was hanging off the 5 feet down of it. The rest of it is down below you and is in the lava.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's there's nothing really there, right?
Yeah, there's about 10 feet of it on the right side, and then the rest of it's on the west side, over by Drost.
So wait, the part of the rope bridge is still held up? Or is it just laying flat?
Okay, so it's hanging. Let me draw a line here. I'll show you what I mean. So it cut here. Okay, so that's where the bridge cut from, about there. So that line.
Okay.
But the bridge cut from there, which means that everything to the left of that line fell onto the cliff on Drost's side, on the west side. The other half of it fell onto the cliff. Basically is hanging off the side. It's not vertical anymore. It's not horizontal anymore. It's vertical now, and is hanging off the other side. So there's about 10 feet or so on the east side that is against the cliff over there, and then the other 25 feet or something.
So you were talking about if you could jump and then use it like a ladder.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
No,
if you could catch it, but it's too low for that. But the cliff is still pretty rough. Like if you could. It's not very high up.
By the way, a normal jump with featherfall will add approximately 6 feet of distance, based off math.
Really?
Yeah.
That isn't how I would rule it, just for the sake of fun.
That's on flat ground.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah. That makes sense. From flat ground, that makes sense.
I'd say the average person would probably jump 10 feet on flat ground is a distance.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're really, 10 if you're really trying to run into it, plus 6, so 16 feet, which is pretty, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, what you're talking about is just doing long jump. That makes sense for just doing a plain long jump, not jumping off a cliff.
Exactly.
Yeah, off the cliff, you're pretty confident if you ran and jumped, as long as you don't biff it somehow, slipping in the ash or something, you could probably make it to the other side easily, high enough up that your feet aren't going to be in the lava, but you'd have to be able to hold onto the cliff and then climb up the cliff until you got to.
Well, I'm going to try my best ninja warrior and see if I can make it. And I'm going to, if I start to seem like I'm falling too rapidly, then I'm going to have the rod ready to try to press the button on it.
Okay.
But otherwise, my hands are free as of right now. Just hanging in my pocket or whatever.
All right.
So that way I can try to grab on.
Yeah, just a jaunty stroll with your hands in your pockets while you jump over a river.
Just whistling as I walk with my hands in my pockets.
All right, give me an acrobatics check.
You'll have to do it for me.
Oh, duh.
Thanks, dude.
All right, acrobatics, which you are. Oh shit, you have double proficiency. Yeah, you have expertise, which you rolled a natural 1. So.
Bye, guys. It was nice knowing you.
Hey, you still have a rod and featherfall.
You did say that you specifically prepared that.
You're stuck in the middle of the fucking river thing.
Yeah, not even that. Not even quite that far. He didn't get that far before he tripped in the ash at the very edge, foot slipping in the slippery amount of the slippery ash there right on the edge. Begins to face plant, like falling face first, where he would just literally go head first straight into the lava. You click the button just in time. You are now feet still on the ash, horizontal out over the lava, holding the button with one hand. Like feet in the ash off the edge, face looking straight down into lava, holding the button in your right hand. Any bonus actions?
Off a cliff.
Yeah, I don't even know if I have any movement left. So I mean,
you only had to use 15 feet to get there, and you still have your bonus action. You could bonus action to dash. So presumably, if you had dashed ahead of time, then you'd still have 50 feet of movement left.
Yeah, I'll just try to see if I can, balance and push myself back up on my feet and grab the rod.
Okay. Give me another acrobat. Well, okay, I'll roll it for you, but another acrobatics check to try to pull yourself back.
Watch.
Let's see. Well, a 16. Considering that 10 of that though is just your expertise, you rolled a 6. You're not rolling real good. You managed to dig your toes into the ash and then kind of wiggle yourself backwards while clicking the button let it go, clicking the button, letting go, so you keep moving back by like a 6 inches. But it's like you're dropping like a clock, like a second hand of a clock that keeps stocking every few seconds because you keep falling forward as you're pulling yourself back a little bit. But you manage to pull yourself up on your knees, standing on the edge of the cliff there. And if your turn, then.
Yeah, he's just gonna sit there hoping that nobody saw him. I'm just dusting myself off and being embarrassed.
Well, Azra's right behind you, so this is supposed to be a training mission for Azra, and you really, both you and Wester have really just looked real foolish. So maybe Azra wants to find some better employment.
Nobody saw that.
Little kobold is going to attack Yorick here. It's like, oh, I gotta.
Reggie, what are you?
If you guys can roll better than a 1, we'll be done with this in like 2 minutes.
I know, right?
That does hit though. So little 4 damage done to Westra. Oh, that was Westra, not Yorick. Little guy in front of you, jabbing you with just a sharp little knife. He's actually going to, as soon as he's seeing that the other, one of the other kobold was trying to run away, he jabs you and immediately turns and starts to try to run. Go ahead and make your opportunity if you want to. 5, 10, 15, 20. That's as far as he can get.
You mean Yorick?
Oh wait, Westra's on the. That's why Westra's on the spot with Yorick. So I'm going to move because I already said Westra and I already applied the damage to her. So I'm just going to put Westra there.
Yeah, sorry. On the.
It's because you try to turn, but you're like, what if I just go back and forward again?
Yeah. Well, if you hold Shift, it'll turn you. I installed another add-on that automatically faces you the direction that you walk. So it'll actually, people will be facing the right direction without having to manually do it. Oh, are you going to make the opportunity attack, Becky?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
He jabbed you for 4 damage, not much.
And he left?
Yeah, the opportunity attack. He turned and tried to run away.
Sentinel. So if I hit, he ain't going anywhere.
All right, well, go ahead and give it a shot. 19 will hit. So a 28 to hit. Yeah, he's so stuck in front of you. I don't know that he even had. He did have. Hang on. Oh, that's his AC. So let's apply 7 damage and see if he's still alive. No, he's not. He had 6 total hit points. He pokes you with his knife and turns, spinning on his heels, getting ready to run after the other kobold that's running away. And you just bring Hugh down, cleaving from just over his right shoulder through his right trap, basically down through past his tail, and just splitting him in half into the ash. He is toast. And that is it for his turn. It is Azra's turn.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to try and get across. So
you saw Dross do it to catastrophic effect, and you don't know where the button is on that to try to save it yourself.
Yeah,
So
no. I'm definitely gonna go with the easier mode and just cast fly on myself and use my wings to bring myself across.
You have your own shift. Is that what you mean, or do you mean actually cast the spell fly?
I'm gonna shift into a bat instead of wasting a spell slot, and then I'm just going to fly over, and I'm gonna go towards the sorcerer because I want the freaking I want their manual thingy.
Okay. You haven't. Well, you haven't seen that guy, so I mean, you might know that you saw an arcane spells going off on the other side, but you haven't actually seen that kobold. If that makes sense, it's just too hazy over there. Okay. So, what's your flight speed? Is what, 60? Here, I'll tell you from Maru. Maru is 30, actually, so it's not that far. So it's only 30 feet. Yeah. But it lasts for a minute, so you'd still be, able to get further if you needed to. You gonna dash? Actually, I think it's a bonus action to shift, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, so you could bonus action to shift and then dash and get all the way to the other side. Is that what you're gonna do?
Yes.
Okay, so that takes your action, but you can get to about right here. Here, I'll move you there. To there. Still in bat form.
Okay.
Okay, so that's action, bonus action, and movement. Is that it for your turn?
Yes, sadly.
All right. Then we're back to Ryloth.
All
so
right.
The dragon, the shielded kobold, the stronger one, is still there. It seems like, the captain or something. And the sorcerer one, the one that casted spells that she was running.
Anyone currently falling off the cliff? No. Everyone's good there. Okay. Try to see if frostbite is dependent. No, it's not. I'm going to go ahead and... Yeah, I'm just going to cast frostbite on. Did we hit this other guy running away at all yet? Is he full? I think he hasn't been touched.
He is still full. He's a little bit larger than the other ones too.
Yeah, I don't care about him. I'm just gonna cast one that might be hurting these other buddies. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to chill this dude out.
The one that's between Westra and Yorick, he's on the other side of them. If you're doing anything that's a ranged spell attack, he's got half cover at least.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of small and he's between them.
That's what I was curious about because
you can move to the edge. You'd have room.
Frost to form, so it's not like I have to shoot anything from me. I just have to see
if
it.
it's not a ranged spell attack, then it's not then there's no risk.
I was wondering if there's any way to actually tell, because what's her range?
Is it a save or is it a ranged spell attack? It'll tell basically if you have to make an attack roll.
No,
then
it's
that
a
means
save.
a projectile. So it's a save. Yeah, then it wouldn't. Then there's no risk in that. You can just point in his direction and intend it for him.
That's what I thought. Just wanted to
All right. Oh shit! You rolled max too. If it hits, or if he doesn't save anyway. So DC 16. And you got a 4 for a total of 6, so 12 damage.
Chill out, buddy!
He is still alive, but he's pretty. Oh shit! He is real fucked up, and now very chilly, shivering,
And
just
then
screeching in place, jumping up and down, covered in frost. All of a sudden, beginning to steam, like the steam coming off of him from the frost being melted away by the heat. Okay.
I'm just gonna hide behind this rock from the other guy that was running away. Just in case.
All right. Then the scale sword. What's that, Justin?
Hide, just move.
You're like real quiet all of a sudden.
I'm not gonna go I'm not using an action to hide or
Okay.
anything.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. The scale sorcerer is going to run and use his action to dash to get his max distance away. We'll remove him off of here because he is no longer visible to you
And
guys.
stay out! If you keep trying to sell that shit, murder your whole family! It's probably,
All right.
what's probably happening is I yell so much as Ryloth, something in Discord's probably adjusting my mic.
You got all quiet because it thinks you're too loud.
Yeah.
Oops. All right. The dragon shield at the edge here is, well, shit. He would try to run, but he's literally on the edge of a cliff and can't get across the bridge. There's no way around him. He's going to try to duck around Yorick, which is going to, well, shit. No, because that wouldn't be a great spot. He's going to go north and try to get around from Westra and go this way. So Westra will have an opportunity attack against him. If he went the other way, he would know that Yorick and Azra would both try to hit him. So he's just trying to go for one target instead of 2.
Oh wait, I don't have my reaction anymore, do I?
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He saw you split the other guy in half. So
Turn yet. Yeah.
yeah. So his full movement is
Out of curiosity,
only 20.
because he was right next to Yorick. Does Yorick not get an opportunity attack? Does he already use his reaction?
Yorick still would actually. Yeah, Westra's in the way, but he would still have it when he got to actually.
Oh, I get it.
I would say that when he leaves the northwest square, that the one that's to the top right of him, he would still get a chance there, maybe with disadvantage because Westra's in the way. So we'll give it a shot here. Control, yeah, control. For an 11, 11 would not hit. No, his AC is 15. All right, so he makes it out of there, but he only has 20 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, and then he's going to dash. He can make it as far as here. That's as far as he gets. It is Westra's turn.
Right.
Little guy is bleeding profusely and scurrying up out of the way, just steaming, just billowing clouds of steam from the frost that's melting.
25. I don't have enough to get there, so I'm gonna use magic missile.
All right, your wand of magic missiles. Well, he had 5 hit points left, so go ahead and roll your missiles for it.
How do
Oh, I
do
guess.
that?
Well, so you'll just roll a d4. It's a d4 plus 1 for each missile that you want to expend. So, below the chat box there where the d4 is, just click that for how many missiles you want, and then click the plus for how many missiles you want.
How does he look?
Bad.
All right, we'll use 1.
3. Okay. With him running away, you run along the edge of the cliff there. Your left foot kind of move it like slipping through and knocking off a chunk of rock that just plummets down through the end of the lava. You almost slip there for a moment as you grab the rod and point it in his direction, sending out a like a small star of explosive energy that smacks him into the back and pushes him forward slightly. He stands himself back up and keeps running. He had 5 hit points left. He did 3.
Okay, now since I have my 2 attacks, does the other attack have to be?
That's not how that works. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, to do that, you have to take the attack action on your turn, and then you get 2 attacks. It's not 2 actions; it's 2 attacks if you take the attack action. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And using the wand is not an attack action; it's an item interaction. Yeah, or using an item rather. Okay. Any bonus actions then?
No. Nope.
Okay.
That's it.
And it is Maru's turn.
He's gonna dash over to me. Fine.
Okay. You can go ahead and move him over. I don't see where you. Oh, there he is. Okay. Oh shit! I almost grabbed
It's
him.
hard to see in this map because he's
Yeah, he
gray
is.
and everything else is gray too.
Yeah. Especially with the gray clouds and everything on top of
I
it.
lost
Alright,
him a couple times. I'm like, where's Maru?
I have
Right.
5 more feet of movement. I'm just going to move over a step so I'm not quite.
So you're not on the edge. Alright. You don't want to fall into the lava? I tried to kill you. Trying to kill Ben now. So what are you trying to do, G?
I will see if I can jump over that way again.
Okay.
Hopefully this time not try to kill myself.
All right. So acrobatics
With the rod ready again.
with a 21. So you
Yes.
you kind of just step yourself back about 5 feet, giving yourselves a little bit of runway, and just rush towards the edge as fast as you can, feeling your feet still lighter than they were previously at least, and leap up into the air as far as you can, and just keep kicking your feet in the air, just like totally fruitlessly. It's doing nothing. It's like dog paddling through the air as you go kind of sailing slowly through to the other side, until you slowly come to impact with the cliff on the far side about 15 feet down. So you make it to the other side about here, but
Jesus Christ, just wait like 1 minute!
I thought he was already across. Oops. Okay.
So you are 15 feet below G. Okay, so I can't. That's funny. There's a thing that I can use to use elevation, but it only goes up. So they never factor for people being hanging off the side of a cliff, I guess. So we're just gonna say that plus 15 is actually minus 15. So that was your action, G. So to jump over, not really movement because you're kind of just carried by momentum. So what are you doing?
If I can, then I'll just climb myself up and get on my feet.
So it would be half, double movement basically, because each 5 feet would take double. So you have just enough to reach the edge if you can make it up. So it'll be an athletics for climbing for a 20. So you managed to make it up to the edge just barely and pull yourself up on the edge. You still have a bonus action.
I don't think it would do me much good to try to hide right there. So I'll just wait.
Okay. You can cunning action and move.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. And that's what I will do, and move. Stepping over his body over here.
He's very small.
Just move up this way a bit.
Okay. All right. It is Ezra's turn.
I'm gonna go loot the body over here.
Okay. That's a regular kobold. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Like all, like your characters in this, are you guys all like thieves? Is that your deal?
Well, I actually
They're-
am.
Yeah, they're a little bit.
This is funny because I lost like the exact opposite of that in this little game. Like,
Pogo is
out stealing some shit,
that.
pulling out
Yeah.
teeth. He didn't give a shit.
They're all kind of criminal underbelly types, basically. Or at least morally ambiguous is how I'd say that. Not necessarily bad guys, but. All right. Digging through the pockets, though, there's really nothing there. He's basically, all scaled, and he's got a little belt on with some small pouches in it. And there are, funnily enough, for what Justin just said, there's some teeth in one, and it looks like a tiny bit of leather that's really frayed in places, like a string of leather, but nothing of value as far as you can tell.
Okay, I'll just leave it.
Okay. That if your turn.
Yep, and I will
Alright.
give it back.
All right. It is Ryla's turn.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna turn around, looking at this little fucking bastard.
Okay.
I'm just gonna cast Frostbite. Oh shit! It's already 9.
Well, it does half damage anyways, so he can't survive that. Even if he saves, it's still exactly how much hit points he has left. So you turning around, just release another beam of cold energy at him, who he kind of is slowly moving in place like he's moving through molasses until he kind of trips over an ankle, falls face first into the ashes, sending this puff of ash up around him, frozen in place until the steam begins to melt that off, just continuing to steam but no longer moving. He did. So with that, the last of them finished off, except for the one that escaped, it seems, at least as far as you saw. We'll go ahead and end it there, since we are half an hour overtime already anyways. Thanks for staying late, everybody. Ben, if you have a second, we'll troubleshoot your Chrome real quick, or we can do it later if you want.
Oh, no, that's fine. We can take care of it if you want to. It just needs to be updated. I just don't know how to update Chrome. So.
No problem. So I'll tell you guys where we are ending right here is the last area. It's a big area, and I expected you guys to take 2 sessions to get through the big area, but this was literally 5 sessions for you to get through what I thought would be like 1.5 sessions worth of content. So, now part of that was the tech issues from like our second session.
Kill him? Did he die?
Yeah, he died, Justin. Did you jump away while I was describing all that? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he did.
Ryloth had a senior moment. He just wasn't paying attention. Cool.
Even though he was literally killing the thing, he's like, "Oh, I didn't notice that I killed that thing while I was literally poking ice at it."
Where am I? Oh no!
So we'll pick this up next week, though. You guys will be at the beginning of the last area, basically, which is, like I was just telling Ben and Becky this too, that originally this is supposed to be about 3 sessions or so, and you just finished like 1.25, maybe 1.5 sessions worth, and it took 5 sessions to get here.
No, it hasn't been 5.
Literally, yes, it has. Yeah, I'm not kidding. This is literally session number 5 of this one shot. There was supposed to be 3 sessions, and I expected that the last area would take 2, but considering the pace of things, it might go longer than that, so it might be like 3 more sessions. Either way, we'll be back to Embers before long, so I still have fun with it, so this doesn't bother me one bit. But
no, this is actually a fun one. I enjoy. It's a lot nicer when I'm not sleepy.
Yeah,
I enjoy it much more. It was a good game. Good job, guys. I thought one of these days we're gonna talk our way through something. One of these fucking days.
If you keep rolling so badly and making breaking and entering, as a option instead of just turning around saying, hey, we need the stuff that's in there. Like, will somebody help us? No. Or just dealing with a sexist merchant. No, let's go.
We can do it. Have some invisibility spell options. Come on.
Well, the alarm still would have went off, but maybe you could have gotten away at least.
True.
I like that animation thing worked as good as it did.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that I'll probably do something like that for the landing page for Embers when we get there. I have some ideas for it already, but I think because it's not as resource intensive as I thought it would be, and on a landing page it'd be perfectly fine. So I'll probably use something like that, so there'll be a little bit of animation on that too.
Yeah, I haven't started on my landing page yet. I've got a little mental block for it. I can't quite figure out what I want to do.
For the longest time I had no ideas for Embers, but I think I have a good idea now. So
that's good. Speaking of, after we're done with this game, do you want to try to log into the big map that I made and just see if it doesn't crash?
Yeah, no problem. Did you understand what I was describing the other day?
Oh, yeah. No, I actually, fun story, because Roll20 only lets you upload up to 5 megs. So for the Roll20 map, because that thing is so big, I had to resize it down to like a third and then still cut it in half.
Okay, all right. So when you said resize, or when you said that it maxes out at 5 megabytes, I thought you just meant resize, and I didn't think you understand that I meant crop it into different sections. So you're doing both.
Well, that's what I did in Roll20. So this lets you upload as big of an image as you want, and so the background was literally 7,000 by 6,000 something pixels.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see because remember, like, it's web based, and so the map is from my system, but it must upload temporarily to their server while it runs. That's why it has to be.
You're uploading to everyone else. Your upload speed is important for that too, by the way.
So
I don't know what your upload speed is.
I don't know if it's the absolute factor in how that works, and I'm curious to test it because this will definitely be the biggest map I ever use. But if it works, and I know your internet speeds, you have Comcast, you got at least 6 to 10.
I have the top now.
In 6 600
No,
download.
my upload is 400 or 40 rather, and my download is 300.
Okay, so so I'm curious because honestly, because I'm actually running it off Wi-Fi, I think my card on this laptop gets closer to 8. But
Yeah,
we'll see. Because I mean, 8 Mbps is still not bad. Like,
it'd still be fine for this. Like
think
even for this, the minimum is 2, and the recommended is 4. So as long as you're above 4, you
my
should be okay.
concern is the fact that we have so much smart shit in this fucking house all the time. I actually had to log into my router and open up that port the other day, and I think it literally on the wireless was something like 46 active devices or something around there.
Jesus.
Yeah, active.
Oh, it's all your Alexa shit.
Well, I got bulbs,
Dumbass.
I've got plugs, I've got 2
You've got the government spying on you.
Oh, in every room of my house.
Yeah.
I don't even give a shit. Fuck Trump, guys. Fuck him. Alexa, fuck Trump.
All right. Well, real quick, let me.
I'd rather not.
Did it really say that?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, then. So let's try to get. All right. So there should be a thing G2 in the menu for running the update. Where is that? Oh, I guess I can stop that part.
Alexa, stop.